Tonight from Monroeville, it's week 3 across the WPIL, but the fun, it's just getting started. As Franklin Regional and Gateway both open up their conference schedules tonight on the Steel City High School Football Showcase. It's a showdown in the swamp. Coming up next on KDKA+.
One day I will have my victory, and they will carve my name in history. Wake up to the sound of the drums. I'm here to stay, here to fight another day. You can't stop me with some pain. I am here to make a change. Whoa. One day I will be victorious.
From Anna Marino Stadium in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, more affectionately known as the Swamp, welcome to the Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine. Tonight, it's the Franklin Regional Panthers against the Gateway Gators. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, joined alongside the Big Ten and ACC champ, Johnny Patrician. I'm Matt Fargo. Happy to have you along at tonight's broadcast. JP, we have two teams. You look at the records, Franklin Regional's 2-1, Gateway 0-3. Maybe doesn't look too appealing, but knowing that this is the conference opener, and really these two teams are coming in 0-0.
It's conference play. It feels like fall in Western PA. These are two historic programs. As you mentioned, Gateway's trying to get in the win column for the first time, and Franklin Regional is looking to have continued success. I'm excited to see them get after it.
No question about it. And Gators normally fare well in murky waters. They're 0-3. It's as murky as it can get. And I think they might have found their bite with Brad Birch coming back at quarterback. That will be something to see. But now it's time for a new segment, JP. I'm excited for it. Agent Zero's player intel, checking all about the all-inside scoop that Johnny Patrician has as we take a look at the first one, and that's Austin Kearns for Franklin Regional.
Agent Zero reporting for duty. Austin Kearns, he does it on both sides of the ball. As you can see here, he's trusted his instincts and getting in the backfield for a sure tackle. That is one of his 3 sacks on the year right there. He's physical, he's tough, he's the leading tackler for Franklin Regional, and here he is again getting in the backfield. You can see the thump on his hits, and Gateway's going to feel his presence tonight. And also, he does it on the offensive side of the ball. As you can see, getting in the open field, getting a catch, and getting the yak, and finding his way in the end zone.
That was his first varsity touchdown on offense, expecting a steady dose of Kearns tonight for Franklin Regional. Let's flip the coin. Let's go to the homestanding Gators. It's all about their do-it-all running back, Jaquan Reynolds.
I'm excited to see Jaquan Reynolds tonight. He is a home run threat waiting to happen, and he's been so close throughout 3 games this year. The Gators are going to depend on him tonight out of the backfield via handoffs and also in the screen game, as you're going to see here right on this clip. You can see he's tough to tackle in the open field, an all-purpose guy, a bell cow back for the Gators.
Just a mere inches shy of breaking a couple big touchdowns there. Maybe tonight will be his night. All right, JP, it's time for the keys to the game, brought to you by Nick Chevrolet. Before you buy, give Nick a try. How do these teams get a win tonight, JP?
And tell him JP sent you. For these teams, for Franklin Regional, it's simple. They got to dominate the line of scrimmage. They have the size advantage in the trenches over Gateway, and they ran for 250 yards last week at 7.1 yards a pop. Also on the defensive side of the ball, they had 13 TFLs last week. They're going to impose their will with their size advantage. And for Gateway, their offense needs to come alive. And I think that's going to change tonight with Brad Birch coming back, their star quarterback. They only have 21 points so far in the whole season. They're going to add to that tonight.
All right, that's the keys to the game, brought to you by Nick Chevrolet. When we come back, Gators, Panthers, the winner of this game could have the keys to the conference. These two teams were sharing the conference championship from a season ago. It's Gators and Panthers. It's the Steel City High School Football Showcase coming up next on KDKA+.
Most individuals, when they have an injury, they want to get back immediately, whether that is getting back to work or getting back to sport or getting to their next yoga workout. We really want to give them pain-free function and mobility as best we can for the extent of their lives, so they can be active, so they can enjoy being with their loved ones.
pressure comes, and here they come.
Put it all on the line, put it all on the line. I know it's the time. Oh, are you ready? Are you ready? Come on, oh, let's go, let's go.
The short trip from Murraysville to Monroeville brings us to our Steel City High School Football Showcase, presented by UPMC Sports Medicine, as we gear you up for Gators and Panthers. It is our Allegiant kickoff. Blake Marsh has this teed up and sending it the way of the Panthers of Franklin Regional, fielded from the 6-yard line. Franklin Regional on the return across the 20 and upended just shy of the 30-yard line for the Panthers. It was Aiden Hudak on the return, and we'll get our first look at the Franklin Regional offense, who was firing on all cylinders, JP, from a week ago in that win over Connellsville.
Yeah, they did it all over the field. I mentioned during the pregame they ran for 250 yards at 7.1 yards a pop. That is going to be hard to duplicate that tonight, or duplicate that any week, rather. But that was an impressive performance.
Chase Lemke, the junior, the new quarterback for the Panthers this season. Coach Getze high on him. We'll talk more about Lemke's growth as he'll hand it off the right side. First carry of the ball game to the 35-yard line.
Franklin
As
Regional.
we'll take a look at the offense for Franklin Regional coming up here.
They're going to depend on their offensive line tonight. They're big, and they have the size advantage over Gateway's defensive line.
There it is. Dupil getting that carry. The tailback with Austin Kearns. Hudak, Brinker, Silva, the offensive line for the Panthers, one of their strong suits, anchored by Hunter Reinhardt. As we have a second down and 4 from the 36-yard line. Back on the ground, and this time carrying forward is Kyle Dupil, the junior. Picks his way to the 45-yard line before being knocked down by Carlos Diggs as we take a look at the Gators defense. Maybe the one big part of this Gators defense returns is Steven Jenkins coming back from injury. Outside linebacker, also plays cornerback. He's a big part of their wheel for the Gators defense, JP.
Yeah, I also like how they have some guys in their secondary that don't get a ton of snaps on offense, so they're going to be fresh. You know, their skilled players are going to be well-rested in between drives.
Lemke from the shotgun, hands it off the left side. Dupil again one more time. Ducks inside and finds the awaiting arms of Robbie Lewis-Loon, who makes the tackle for the Gators. And it will bring up a second down and 7. The Panthers are going to keep the ball on the ground predominantly. It's an 80-20 set of offense for the Panthers tonight.
Yeah, we're going to get a heavy dose of the run tonight. As you can tell, their whole strategy so far on this first drive is to run the ball. Clearly, they've done it every play, and they come out in a 12 personnel set. 1 running backs with 2 tight ends.
Lemke from the shotgun sends a man in motion right to left. And he'll go back to pass, as we say that, rolling for his life as he'll throw out of bounds. Immediate pressure by the Gator defensive front. And Lemke was able to toss it to the near side boundary. It's third down.
Well, maybe that's why they run the ball most of the time. Their offensive line is clearly good at run blocking. They didn't give Lemke too much time there to throw the ball.
It'll be third down and 7 for the Panthers. Mentioned the offense was clicking. They won 38-0 over Connellsville last week in non-conference action. Dupil and Gentili. Jay Gentili scored twice in the game. Dupil had 131 yards rushing on just 14 carries. That one pulled down out of the atmosphere and got some room to run. It's Aiden Hudak, and Hudak's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Franklin Regional. The Panthers on the board first.
Perfect execution by the Panthers. The defensive line for Gateway falls for the screen pass exactly the way that Franklin Regional wants them to. As a defensive lineman, we say you got to smell the rat. They got to the quarterback too easily. If you're getting there with nobody blocking you at all, something's wrong. You got to plant your foot in the ground and go the other direction.
57 yards for the Franklin Regional touchdown. And Joey Bain, the junior, puts it through the poles and makes it 7-0. Franklin Regional, they get out to a hot start. They have the lead. It's the Panthers leading the Gators 7-0. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp
I'm
evenings,
really
and
hot
on
in my
Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 5 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
This awesome gift is from my grandma. I use free pay policy from GBA Life.
What does it do?
It accumulates cash value, helps protect my future insurability, and it may even earn dividends.
What's so great about that?
My policy will grow with me. Plus, I get access to the GBA Life Youth Leaders Program, scholarships, and more.
Oh.
You might be interested in a GBA Life annuity. You're probably thinking about retiring soon, right, Mrs. Jones?
Why call 2 men in a truck? If you're like Joe, you need to move your business without moving a single meeting. The word stop isn't in your vocabulary. You want it handled with no hitches, no glitches, and no sweat. That's why you call 2 men in a truck.
2 men in a truck.
Panera's You Pick 2 means when part of you wants crispy, crunchy, fresh, and part of you wants melty, smoky, peppery. Both U's win big. You pick 2 and get more. Cater your next event with Panera.
Welcome back to Gateway, where it is the Panthers leading the Gators 7-0. We want to thank tonight's community sponsor, Gateway Grill, Hometown American Grill Sports Bar. Check out their wood fire grill with top quality ingredients to provide the best breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the area. Open 7 days a week and have daily specials. Visit them on Northern Pike in Monroeville or check them out online at gatewaygrill.net or on Instagram at gatewaygrill_Monroeville. How about the quick start by the Panthers offense, JP, that has them out 7-0. They won this rivalry game for the first time in 5 years last year, upsetting the number 2 team in the state at the time, Gateway. 16 points offensively. They already have 7 tonight.
Quick and through the air. Unexpected. Although a screen pass, that'll help get Lemke's confidence up through the roof. And, it was a quick score. They didn't take much time off the board, or off the clock, rather. And now let's see what Gateway can do with it.
This is bobbled around, and they're going to say this is still live. And, wow, that was a bunch of confusion because the official had ruled that was still a live ball, but the ball, I believe, ended up in the end zone. So one of the other officials made the correct call. Once that ball crosses the goal line, whether you want to or not, JP, you can't take it out of the end zone.
Yeah, a rule I don't like. Let the guys play.
So Austin Kearns getting into the end zone, our feature player. Agent Zero, 1 for 1 in our secret file that you have there.
Now we'll see what Jaquan Reynolds can do.
If Reynolds scores on this drive, I'm acting a little curious here. Here's Gateway and Brad Birch returning to the Gateway offense. Sends trips here to the near side. Birch goes back to pass, looks to the near side. He got his man. It's Dyson Harper. He lost control of it. It's still loose out there. And finally, Steven Jenkins, fresh off of his injury, jumps on the loose football.
Definitely a fumble there. What do they say? He made a football move after he caught the ball?
No question.
Had possession. And Gateway's lucky they can get on top of that one.
Steady
Franklin
hands
Regional
there.
had great field position to go up 2 scores.
And that's what hurt them in the loss against North Hills. Bunch of turnovers. Birch back to pass on second down. Going to let it fly down the middle of the field. He's got his man. It's caught. Kenny Lewis. Lewis. A house call. Touchdown Gators. 79 yards.
And that is exactly what Gateway was missing the last 2 weeks. We talked about Brad Birch coming back from injury, and he makes his presence felt on the second play of their drive.
Birch winds it up. Back is Brad Birch on the money to Kenny Lewis, the junior. Treks it in. And there is a flag on the play. I think this is going to come back, JP.
Oh, that's disappointing. The Gateway sideline was alive.
Illegal touching is the call. Don Ho not happy about it. I don't know where the penalty occurred, but that's going to negate the big play for the Gators. And boy, is that not a definition of what they've experienced throughout the first 3 games of the season. Just bad luck.
You're 100% right. But if anything, that helps Birch's confidence coming back for his first game in 3 weeks.
3rd and 14, Birch back to pass. This time he'll fire it over right at the 30-yard line and right at the first down sticks. Should be first down yardage. Derek Selby climbs the ladder and pulls it down for the Gators. It is a first down. They convert the long 3rd down.
Well, they're definitely going to air it out tonight, it seems like.
Here is the Gateway offense as they go quick to the line. We talked about Birch and Reynolds. Jenkins returns. Harper, Selby, and Lewis, dangerous receiving core. Jake Santo anchoring the offensive line for the Gators. First down and 10 for Gateway. Birch gets the snap, fakes it to Reynolds, throws it out into the flats. Here it's Jenkins. Jenkins runs into his own man and was able to push forward as he'll pick up about 7 on the first down pass and catch. Coming up for Franklin Regional, it's Heath Silva on the tackle. Bring up 2nd down and 2, so give him 8.
You can already get a different feeling of the sense of offense that Birch has than rather the last few weeks. They haven't had anybody to get the ball to their weapons on the outside, and now they do.
Birch calls his own number this time on the 2nd down play, and he's right at the sticks. We'll check that. Let the Zebra sort it out as we take a look at the Franklin Regional defense. We were talking about Austin Kearns, who leads that linebacking core, but Gentili's big on the defensive line. Also, Bear Marion on that defensive front. And here's a hard run on 3rd down that's going to pick up the Gateway first down as we got our first look at Jaquan Reynolds, and he picks up a Gator first down.
Expect to get a heavy dose of him tonight. As you can see, tough, hard to bring down on the 2nd and 3rd levels.
Birch going to dump it off into the far side, flat slipping down and hitting the turf. Steven Jenkins.
The turf monster makes their first appearance of the night, Matt.
As the sun begins to set over Anna Moreno Stadium, it's pointing right back up at us in the press box and all the fans here at Gateway.
I can see now.
Yeah, we're almost there, right? 2nd down and 12. Birch barking out the signals with the sidecar to his right. Another pass attempt for Birch. Going to let it fly down the far sideline. Got his man. It's Jenkins, and Jenkins is pulled down inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Gators.
Birch is on the money so far. He hasn't missed a beat. Perfect spiral with a moonshot here. That felt like it was in the air forever.
49 yards on the pass and catch. And Jenkins making his presence felt already as it's 1st down and goal, Gators. And Franklin Regional's going to give them a free 5. To move them even close, we'll confirm that with our official tonight, and he confirms it. It's an encroachment penalty on the Panthers.
Very strategic by the Gators. They run the hurry-up offense the whole drive, and then they go on 2 on that play to get a free 5. Franklin Regional was expecting to go on the first hut.
And we get some whistles here. And I think Lance Getze is wanting his defense to relax, and he's calling a timeout here. With 6:41 to play in our opening quarter, Panthers got out to the quick 7-0 lead. Gateway quick strike gets called back. And we were talking about Franklin Regional's path to getting into conference play. Remember, they were picked, Johnny, last year to finish last in the conference, end up tying with Gateway for the conference championship, of course, and they beat Gateway. Now This is a tough road. You lose to Thomas Jefferson 42-7. There's no shame in that. TJ, one of the perennial powers in 4A. Latrobe getting a win on the road. That was a tough win. Latrobe is a team that is surging in the right direction. And then Connellsville came into that game undefeated at 2-0. And the Panthers building some confidence.
They are. Things are looking up, and they know that they can get a road win tonight against Gateway, a school close by right down the road. They probably know each other. That'll go far in the confidence direction for the Panthers.
Beautiful shot of our sunset here in Monroeville tonight as well, as the Gators look to try to tie things up here in the first. 6:41 to play. Birch with Reynolds to his right. Another count that gets Franklin Regional to jump again. So right out of the timeout, Gators going to get a half the distance penalty here. They motion Jenkins. He lines up to the right side of the formation. Birch on the option. Brad Birch. Welcome back, Brad. Touchdown, Gators. They call back the one touchdown through the air. He'll do this one himself on the ground for the Gator touchdown.
A perfect drive by Brad Birch. Through the air and on the ground to finish it off. Excited to see him back in the game.
Stadium lights flash here at Anna Moreno Stadium as the Gators punch in what can be the qualifying tying score.
Those flashing lights are a nice touch.
I like it. Extra point, good. Off the right foot of Blake Marsh. 7-7. Gators and Panthers knotted up. We'll be back to Monroeville after this. It's the Steel City High School Football Showcase, presented by UPMC Sports Medicine on KDKA+.
Pittsburgh. Its long and proud heritage is beautifully preserved in the awe-inspiring buildings that surround it, in the places where we live, where we worship, and where we play. One company has been awarded the challenge of restoring all that great heritage for nearly 75 years. Mariani and Richards, restoring the heritage, preserving the pride.
Maya, can you come in here, please?
Already. Yeah, Dad, what's up?
Is that your brother on the TV?
Yeah, that's my brother. It looks like it's tonight's game.
But how can that be your brother? I have never missed a single game.
We couldn't go tonight. Remember, you broke your foot.
Right. Well, I don't know who's putting on this production, but without them, I'd be missing this.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, Shorty's Tap and Taco, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
Steel City Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine. Back to Monroeville. And a beautiful night for high school football here in mid-September. 69 degrees. And it now is starting to cool off in the press box. It was a little balmy up here during pregame.
Yeah, we were sweating up here. But it's a perfect night for fall football in Western Pennsylvania.
Always love coming to this stadium. Beautiful view of Monroeville and great field to catch a ball game.
Great field. It's different with the gray end zones. Gateway was always unique in the uniform and end zone department.
Marsh tees it back up, back to Franklin Regional. Panthers, Hudak with a flag down. Hudak gets across the 40 to the 41-yard line, and I think the officials will be backing up the blue and gold to start this drive with this thing tied up at 7.
You never want to start off a drive with a penalty.
Take a look at it again.
Broke some tackles there.
Let's see if we see the hold. That is the reason why Franklin Regional will start this drive back at their own 18-yard line. You know, Lemke tosses the touchdown pass, just threw 9 passes last week, but also ran for 85 yards on 7 carries.
So usually a bigger threat in the run department.
For sure.
But tonight they're going with the balance attack.
And he'll stick to the ground on first down. They give it off to Kyle Dupil. The junior will trot forward to the 26-yard line.
Kyle Dupil's having a great season so far with 4 touchdowns and 268 yards on the ground. He's been the main source of success for the Panthers thus far.
Samad Harris, the linebacker for Gateway, made the tackle. Dupil had 38 carries for 268 yards and 4 touchdowns last week. And give the pill to Dupil. And he'll pick his way to the first down marker, past it to the 21-yard line. And I think one of the things, talking with some Gateway folks, is where they feel like they've lost games this year is in the trenches, offensive and defensive lines. And that's one of Franklin Regional's strong suits. So I think Gateway's strategy needs to be that make this a showcase of skill and air and speed this pace up, while Franklin Regional, while they did score quick, probably doesn't want to do that every time.
Yeah, something's got to give. Franklin Regional doesn't want to get in the rat race. You know, they don't want to make it a shootout, whereas Gateway does. They want to use their athletes to get in space. And Franklin Regional, that was our key to the game for them. They got to continue to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And that was a dangerous pass there, trying to get Hudak again. And Aiden Hudak is was in some traffic there. As that one falls harmlessly to the phony turf here at Gateway.
It could have been bad, though.
Second down, 10 for the Panthers. Lemke moves Kearns in motion. Dupil trying to bounce it to the corner, and he cannot. Jenkins met him at the corner.
Wow. Dupil ran into a wall. Jenkins with a perfect form-fitting tackle. That was textbook.
And you could just see how often we've talked about number 3 just mere halfway through this first quarter.
Look at that. Eyes up, chest up, runs his feet. You can't get a better form tackle than that.
You just love seeing a linebacker making a good tackle.
You could hear that. You could feel it.
Third down for the Panthers now. They'll go shotgun. Back to pass, setting up another screen pass, and Gateway reads it perfectly. Amari Gans with the lick.
Well, they learned their lesson. If you get through the line of scrimmage too easily, you got to smell a rat. Like I said last drive, something's up. Antenna's got to go up, and they were ready for it. It looks like Gateway doesn't respect Franklin Regional's passing game at all. They were all over the screen. They know they're not going to throw it downfield.
Yeah, it was kind of a case of fool me once, shame on you, but they weren't going to be fooled twice.
Right.
And now the punt unit is out for Franklin Regional. Punts away by Joey Bain. This was rolling around, and Kenny Lewis picks it up for Gateway. Lewis trying to get around the corner, trying to shrug off one tackler, and help arrived to finalize the tackle. Nolan Cowart on the stop. Hey, if you want more college football, we got it for you coming up tomorrow as Westminster takes on the Washington and Jefferson Presidents. Tomorrow right here on KDKA Plus at 1 o'clock. Austin Bechtold and company will have the call from the home of the Presidents.
The Presidents. Always found that mascot to be pretty interesting.
They're winners.
They are winners.
First down and 10 for Gateway. Brad Birch back to work offensively. He'll look to his left, set up the screen pass. It's Kenny Lewis on the reception. Lewis to the far side boundary, a first down, and steps out of bounds. Picks up 12 in a fresh set at the 35-yard line. It just seems like this Gateway offense is clicking. They're doing what they want to do.
They have life again. Totally different story than the last 2 weeks. Like I mentioned before, they didn't really have anybody to get the ball to their athletes on the outside, and now they're taking advantage of that in space tonight.
First down and 10 for the Gators. Birch going to put it in the stomach of Reynolds and then be buried in the backfield. Back at the 28-yard line.
It looked like there was a little confusion there on the Gateway offense. Birch pulled it, didn't hand it off, and was looking to throw, but none of his receivers were really running routes. I think the receivers might have expected him to hand that ball off.
Give credit to Andrew Davola on the tackle there, as there is an injury down right now for Franklin Regional. As they tend to that, we're going to take a look at Whitfield Insider's top 25. This is all classifications. Kind of a cool thing by Carlos Zofko. Your Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings are number one, JP.
Love to see that.
And anything stand out to you? See the Aliquippa Quips at 7. I think maybe they feel like they should be higher.
I see Shaler at 12. It's good to see Shaler.
Undefeated.
When I was in high school, they went through 4 years of winless seasons.
See the South Fayette Lions at 14, but I don't see... Oh, I see Montour at 10. I was like, what happened to that, Carlo? But Montour, big win last week right here on KDKA Plus. The Spartans, the number 10 team in all the WPIL with that win.
Yep, with that matchup against South Fayette.
All right, out of the injury. This time they do give it off to Reynolds. And Reynolds gets tripped up. It's been the story of his season to this point. As picks forward for about a gain of 4. It's going to be third down here for Gateway. And they're quick back to the line here. Now looking to the near sideline. Signals from this coaching staff at Gateway, led by Don Hall. Assistant head coach is former Steeler Morty Ivy. Crossing pattern of the middle. It's short as Birch had some company in the backfield and could be the reason why that pass ended up skipping short of his intended receiver.
Birch has been on the money so far. It was worth a heat check.
Well, here's a heat check. 4th down and 8. Gators will go for it.
In your own territory.
At their own 37-yard line, yes. Gut check time. Maybe they're trying to see if Franklin Regional will jump again. Already have done that 3 times tonight. Play clock down to 8. It's a pooch kick by Birch. Nobody back there, and look at this.
Perfect.
Look at Brad Birch. He can do it all.
Can't ask for more than that from your quarterback.
And, you know, talking about Brad Birch as we see the Franklin Regional offense come back out there, but talking more about Birch, obviously he gets the Division I offer to Oregon as a freshman when he was at Jeanette. He transfers to Gateway with his brother here. Obviously, there's eligibility questions. They are able to beat that. He's eligible, able to come here, but had that pressure of coming in as a freshman and then sophomore with that Division I offer. That puts a lot of pressure on a 14-year-old kid.
No doubt about it. And the way social media and the offer world works now, everybody around Western Pennsylvania knows who's getting offered. So everybody at Gateway already knew what they were getting in Brad Birch, and tonight he's showing us why.
Yeah, his other offer is at Akron. Comes in 17th all-time in the WPIL in passing. Gators showing a blitz, and they give it off to Dupil, and Dupil found the right hole, picked his way to the 15 and then to the 16-yard line as Gators were bringing all but 2 on that one.
And we're going to see that a lot tonight from Gateway. Clearly, we mentioned before, they don't seem to respect the downfield passing game from Franklin Regional, so they're going to load the box and try to stop the run game.
Coming up on 2 minutes, now inside of 2 minutes to go in this first quarter, tied at 7. Both teams took their opening drives into the end zone, and now both teams have punted. So the mirror game continues as Franklin Regional's third touch of the football on a second down. And Lemke keeping it around the corner and has a first down.
Lemke's not the biggest in stature, but he runs behind his pads. Hard to bring down in the open field. Impressive there from the quarterback.
Talking with Lance Getz, he said last year in practice they had him take reps at quarterback, but utilize him in games more as the wide receiver because he was an athlete. And now stepping in. So I'm sure that even having practice reps helped him coming in to actually getting varsity experience.
No doubt about it. As we've talked about before, nothing can prepare you for the real action, but that's the closest thing to it is practice.
Here's a carry right up the middle. This time for Franklin Regional, they give it to Gentili. Jude Gentili, the junior, 5'5", 143, but another one, small in stature, but packs a punch.
Yep.
And has a Darren Sproles look to him, JP.
That's a great compliment. But that's Franklin Regional's game. That's their bread and butter. 5 yards a carry. I mentioned last week, 7.1 yards a carry on the ground. You know, they're looking to get 5 yards on first down to make it a manageable second and third down.
This is straight away running by the Panthers. Nothing flashy about it to the 30-yard line. It's Dupill. Gator linebacker Ahmad Harris makes the tackle.
And now they face a 3rd and 1, which with their run game, they got to be pretty confident about.
Yeah, give it a good shot there. I love the Gators, all black, flat bat, black helmets. And Franklin Regional, well-dressed too, and the numbers pop. Shout out to both ADs. It's an underappreciated element here up in the booth, as Dupill is going to pick his way to the 35-yard line and get a Panther first down. And it's not flashy, JP, but it is consistent. And the Panthers look like they're going to take this to the end of the first quarter, content with a 7-7 ball game.
It gets the job done, and that's all you can ask for. You know, you don't get style points in this game.
But you sure do. And when you come back, we're going to have more JP style and more Panthers and Gators live here from Gateway. It's the Steel City Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine, back on KDKA Plus for quarter number 2 after this.
Are you an aspiring entrepreneur, a dreamer with a passion for success? With Koza Law Group, your journey starts now. Whether you're dreaming of a small startup or envisioning a global empire, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Starting a business shouldn't be scary. It's about embracing the spirit of innovation, taking calculated risks, and believing in your potential to make a difference. We are more than just legal advisors. We are redefining legal services. Contact us today to experience the Koza Law difference.
Here at Loway, we have a pretty vast array of customizable promotional products, from pens, signs, mugs, water bottles, really anything you can think of. Some of the main services we provide here are screen printing, embroidery, and promotional products. What really sets us apart from our competitors is our on-staff design crew and our customer service. We can really help take your branding and marketing to a new level. The main thing you can expect from us here at Loway is quick turnaround times and a really high-quality product.
Most individuals, when they have an injury, they want to get back immediately, whether that is getting back to work or getting back to sport or getting to their next yoga workout. We really want to give them pain-free function and mobility as best we can for the extent of their lives, so they can be active, so they can enjoy being with their loved ones.
I'm Andy Sheehan. I'm the lead investigator with KDKA Investigates. I live in Pittsburgh. I've raised my kids here. For decades now, I've worked trying to uncover wrongs. We looked at the quality of water here. We found dangerous levels of lead in the water. We dug further. The city's water authority took action. Today, they have replaced more than half of the lead service lines throughout the entire city of Pittsburgh. We uncover a problem, we get answers, positive change for you and your family.
12 minutes in the books here from Gateway. Knotted up 7-7. Back alongside Johnny Patrician, Matt Fargo with you. Our JRM production crew bringing you this one. High school football on a Friday night in Western Pennsylvania. As it will be DuPill getting the carry, getting it to the 45-yard line, and he is just shy of a Franklin Regional first down.
Those were hard-earned 9 yards right there. I think he broke one or two tackles and maybe ran over a Gator in the meantime. Boom.
Got sound effects up here now, too. Wow.
That's bonus.
That's not extra.
I don't get paid for the sound effects.
That's crazy, man. Gators showing blitz. DuPill gets the carry, and the Gators are all over it. Sliding in, Jacob Santo, the senior, wraps him up in the backfield.
See, that now Franklin Regional's in a tough situation. I almost would have liked to throw to take a chance of switching it up and not make their offense so predictable on second down there. But now they lose a yard or two, and they're forced to throw it, maybe. I mean, if they feel confident enough in their downfield passing game.
Well, they needed the 45.5. Now the ball at the 44. Little misdirection play, and Lemke has plenty of room to get into Gator territory. First down, Panthers, they convert. And maybe a touchdown saving tackle by Jair Phillips.
Well, maybe Gateway was expecting a throw there because that run was perfect, and they had a giant hole to go through to gain, 10 yards on third down?
First and 10 for the Panthers at the Gateway 42-yard line. Coming up on 10 minutes to play in our first half of action. Steel City Showcase in Week 3 in the WPIL. 0-3 Gateway, 2-1 Franklin Regional. Lemke rolls to his left, slings it down the field, down the far sideline, trying to come back to the football. Just too short for Aiden Hudak. Could not make the catch.
I like the aggressiveness on first down there. That's something we haven't seen from Franklin Regional so far. They try to get Hudak there on the wheel route, which is a good concept to get your athlete down the sideline. Just not enough air on it.
Franklin Regional, it seems like they want to be strategic with when they're going to throw the ball downfield. Second down and 10. Back to the ground game in DuPill. Not much doing. A lot of black jerseys in on that. Just a 1-yard pickup to the 41, and it's third down.
So now what do you do here is the million-dollar question. You're forced to throw the ball at 3rd and 9 unless you're going to play the 2-down game and plan on going for it on 4th down if you could run the ball twice. Being that, they're in Gateway's territory already.
Third down, it's a play-action play, a double clutch there, throwing over the middle. It's intercepted at the 25-yard line, picked off by the Gators. Phillips, Jair Phillips picks it off. Bobbing around for a moment, and 24 black comes down with it.
They say the golden rule of quarterback is when you're rolling out to not throw across your body back towards the middle of the field. And that's exactly what happened.
Just kind of threw that one up. Lollipopped it up there a little bit.
They say only bad things can happen when you do that. But it's a risky decision.
Right.
And he had his man open, but too many defenders in the area.
Great play by Phillips, too. Going right up against Austin Kearns.
Correct. Great job of high pointing the football. He went and got it.
Well, not good news if you're a Gator fan, is that's Steven Jenkins down. And as they tend to him, we're going to step aside as well. 7-7 Gateway and Franklin Regional tied here on the Showcase on KDKA+.
When you step through that door or shake their hands, will you be prepared? When you stand up for a client or walk into that meeting, Will you be ready? Ready to prove to them that you deserve to be there?
When you come to Washington and Jefferson, you will be.
Washington and Jefferson College. Are you ready?
Panera's You Pick Two means when part of you wants crispy, crunchy, fresh, and part of you wants melty, smoky, peppery. Both U's win big. You pick two and get more. Cater your next event with Panera.
Looking to escape a dead-end job? We can help. Apply at 2 Men in a Truck today for a good job that can become a great career.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 5 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Welcome back to Gateway. The training staff is still tending to Jenkins. Beautiful shot of Monroeville. This is my favorite time of year, JP. Love September.
The best. Bonfire season's coming up. Yep. Hoodie season.
Still 69 degrees here at Anna Marino Stadium. Just a postcard perfect night, and it is good to see that Jenkins is getting up, but not going to be able to put any pressure on that left foot, left leg. And that's just awful to see because he just came back from the injury, and he's been so important to Gateway in just this quarter and change that we played.
Yeah, he stood out tonight so far. I've seen him throw a few guys around. He had that nice physical form-fitting tackle, which I keep talking about because it was so pretty. He's going to be excited to see that on film tomorrow morning.
Well, wish him the best as Birch in the offense back to work, tied at 7. Brad pressured immediately. Here comes the pressure. He'll duck over and spin out of it, make something out of nothing. Does Birch up to the 31-yard line, and nice Houdini act by 12 there.
Something out of nothing for sure. Franklin Regional thought they had him for a 5 or 6 yard loss.
I feel like that's the defensive version of being so wide open on offense that you missed the catch. You were so open there that you missed the sack. Birch back to pass. Here comes more pressure. And this time he's not going to be able to escape it. They got company this time. Austin Kearns and company.
Austin Kearns, we talked about, there he is adding to his sack total. He had 3 on the season so far. Looks like it's going to be his 4th. He has great instincts of knowing when to add on, which in the football world we call that a green dog.
Okay, I want more analysis on this green dog.
Okay.
3rd down at 12. Screen pass isn't there. Birch doesn't know where to go with it, and he just throws it out of bounds. Incomplete.
A green dog, in layman's terms, in the football world, is basically, as a linebacker, you don't have any work to go to. There's no receivers or downfield threats in your area. You're kind of in no man's land.
Is that the equivalent of what you would call a spy?
I think a spy, that is your job.
You're spying the quarterback.
A green dog, really, it kind of just happens.
Gotcha.
And instinctively, you know when to add in, and you just go after the quarterback because you see nobody's looking to block you, and there's nothing that you can help with in your coverage area.
Marsh to punt it away, and it's bobbled, but Franklin Regional jumps on it. Always interesting, the flow of a high school football game, JP. You see these two offenses who haven't done much this year in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, Franklin Regional did well last week, but it was Connellsville. And now you see these two offenses trade blows their opening snaps, but now neither seems to have found their groove again, and now the defenses are stepping up.
Well, I think we need to apologize for Connellsville right there. They just caught a stray bullet from Matt Fargo in the booth up here. What did Connellsville do to you? Jeez, oh man!
I'm just saying.
But anyways,
I'm sure there's people that are going to keep receipts, but that's fine.
Do we have Connellsville on the schedule
No,
this year? Because they might not let you in.
Shout out to Matt Kershey. He's a Connellsville grad. Pitch left side as they give it off to Hudak, and he tries to reverse field now, and finally, look at this on the near side. There's some pushing and shoving going on as flags continue to fly at it. A lot of extracurricular there. The play was going to the left, but all the action was onto this near side.
There's a wrestling match on the near sideline here. The laundry comes out from the referees. 2 flags.
Cole Brinker for Franklin Regional. And this is going to be offsetting. That's my favorite part about offsetting penalties is like these two are going to just push and shove each other and then nothing's going to happen. It's kind of funny part of it.
But there's no one team that should take the penalty for it.
It definitely is. But it does kind of allow that to happen because if you go and he goes, nothing's really – coach really can't be too mad at you, right?
Yeah, but sooner or later somebody's going to get caught.
No doubt. 2nd down, 10. Lemke keeps, and a whole host of black jerseys in, and another flag is down, and I think this one might be courtesy of Don Hall on the Gateway sideline. Because there was no player near there, but Don Hall was in the official's ear.
Good old Don Hall. Shout out to his son TJ I played against in high school, and I also played against Don Hall when he was the head coach at Seneca Valley. We had some good games back in the Quad A North.
His other son, Donnie Hall, on the staff, and Don Hall will sometimes he's up in the booth. He said he liked calling the games from upstairs.
Yeah, that's rare. Usually, sometimes you see an offensive coordinator up in the booth. Very rare to see a head coach in the booth.
Well, that penalty against Gateway. He wants more, and the official said, backed him off. That's enough. So that helps the Franklin Regional drive into Gator territory now. The 44-yard line. DuPill nowhere to go. Swallowed up by the Gator defense.
Rare you see a penalty on a coach in football. It's like a technical foul in basketball.
Yeah.
You know?
Be really unfortunate if he had to sit the rest of the game.
Right.
They're still having a conversation on this near sideline.
He's getting his 15 yards worth. But to your point, that's exactly what Franklin Regional needed to spark a drive. They've been slow these past few drives, and now they're finally over midfield again.
And we're burning through this second quarter, already halfway through, 6:30 to play. And now Lance Getze wants to call a timeout. Lance Getze in his 3rd season at Franklin Regional, previously had coached at Charleroi, was an assistant coach under Greg Botta, former Franklin Regional coach who was a legend at FR. And kind of interesting story, though, with Getze, as his brother, the offensive coordinator with the Chicago Bears, he, a graduate of Steel Valley, was a part of the 91 team with Charlie Batch that went to the WPIAL semifinals. And just to really put this WPIAL football world in order, his sister Jen married Elwood City coach Dan Bradley. And their son, Tyler Bradley, one of the all-time leading passers in WPIAL history, played at Our Lady of the Sacred Heart. So funny how all the connections.
Here we go. I got the WPIAL walking encyclopedia up here with me. Every week you can get a history lesson from Matt Fargo. He's giving them out for free. Tune in.
Just funny how it plays out, right? Football families tend to marry football families. I think that's what ends up happening,
yeah,
right?
That's true. And, we got a rich tradition and history here of football. It's a hotbed here in Western Pennsylvania. And, like you mentioned, is Coach Getsy's brother, the OC for the Chicago Bears, one of the young, up-and-coming hot coaches and hot minds in the National Football League.
I didn't want to say anything about the Bears offense because I felt like I was going to.
Right.
More receipts. Going deep. Jump ball. Tip drill. Incomplete. Receiver turned defensive back to knock that away on the tip drill because Kenny Lewis almost had the pick off that tip. And this is great defense by the receiver here.
They call this the tip drill. You're right. The receiver turned to the defensive side of the ball and broke up an interception.
Aiden Hudock, who has the touchdown for the Panthers tonight, knocks it down, and it's 3rd down and 12 for the Panthers. Does seem like Franklin Regional was uncomfortable needing to throw here. Back to pass, throwing over the middle, and what do you have to say? That's a Franklin Regional first down. That's the announcer's jinx in the opposite direction. Austin Kearns with a flag down makes the reception, but an on-the-money throw by Lemke.
That's the 2nd or 3rd time we've jinxed them. And they've done exactly what we said they couldn't do.
Penalties declined. It was against Gateway. It's a Franklin Regional first down. Panthers got something cooking here.
Disappointing there for the Gateway defense that they weren't able to come up with a stop when they knew Franklin Regional was in a passing situation. With the athlete advantage they have on the outside, they should have been able to shut that passing game down.
From the 29-yard line, option play to Pill. Gets 3 on first down.
Now they're back to the DuPill game. They got their first down that they needed. Back to their bread and butter run game.
Second down, 8.
Oh, Gateway returns the favor with the encroachment here. Free 5 for the Panthers.
Now Franklin Regional is giving Gateway a taste of their own medicine. Gateway did that a few times in their opening drive to get a few free 5s.
DuPill again. 24 has got his number called a bunch tonight. And he's just shy of a first down at the 19. Now, I think they're going to give it to him. Yes.
Wow.
First down, Panthers.
And the drive continues. They're churning the time off the clock here in the second quarter. And that's what you get from a Panther offense that's run heavy. They usually don't throw unless they have to. And then, they'll just keep chipping away. 3 yards, 4 yards. I guess if you're going to go for it on 4th down, all you need is 3 yards of play.
Motion out of the slot, it's Hudock. Top of your screen, they give it to DuPill, and DuPill takes a Gator for a ride inside the 20 to the 17-yard line.
Matt, I've never played at this stadium, but I've always viewed it as one of the nicest ones.
No doubt.
A gorgeous setting here. The facilities are great. You can tell Gateway really cares about their athletic program.
There's no doubt. And, they utilize the stadiums for so many other things other than football and use it for WPL playoff games. They have soccer playoffs here. Don Hall, also the athletic director here at Gateway, is DuPill inside the 15 to the 13. And it's good to see. I think it was Pitt athletic director Heather Like that said athletics is the front door to any institution. And I think that's very true. While, obviously academics are certainly important, but the front door, the part that gets shown the most is oftentimes athletics.
Very true. It's always interesting to see the schools that have athletic success, whether it's on the hardwood, the football field, whatever. usually schools that go far in the college football playoff or in March Madness, their admissions go through the roof the next year.
Yeah.
I remember FGCU, Florida Gulf Coast University, when they had that historic run of March Madness, their admissions quadrupled the following year.
How about that run by Lemke? Almost broke it into the end zone.
Yeah, sorry, we got a little bit off topic there, Matt.
It's a great point.
But to your point, you mentioned Don Hall, the AD and the head coach. Made me think of, shout out, my old good friend Terry Smith, who was the historic AD and head coach at Gateway, who got me to go to Penn State.
They give it to Dupill. Dupill fighting his way and then got held up at the 2-yard line, but second down and goal for the Panthers as they methodically driving this ball down to the Gateway Gator doorstep.
You got to think those guys in the trenches are huffing and puffing. The Panthers want to punch it in, and the Gators got to get off the field.
A lot of hands on hips right now.
Yeah. If you're Gateway, you got to try to hold them to a field goal here.
Lemke. Man in motion left to right. Hudock. It's Dupill, and he gets clotheslined. Craig Schultz, the sophomore.
Craig Schultz making his presence felt. A big hit in the backfield, and a TFL is exactly what the Gators needed.
6'2", 225 as a sophomore. Don't want that grocery bill.
Oh. That's the hit of the game so far.
It is. And a timeout taken with 1:54 to play in our first half. Tied 7-7. Panthers and Gators, our Steel City Showcase game presented by UPMC Sports Medicine with Johnny Patrician. I'm Matt Fargo. Happy to have you tonight from Monroeville. Want to thank our 2023 sponsors. Part of the Steel City Showcase, UPMC Sports Medicine, Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, GBU Life, 2 Men in a Truck, Koza Law Group, by the Special Olympics Pennsylvania, by Leeway Enterprises, by Ready, by LaRoche University, by Mariani and Richards Incorporated, by Washington and Jefferson College, by the Waterfront, Panera Bread, and Allegheny College. Thank you to our sponsors. Third down out of the timeout. Motion to Pill. They throw it to him in a great open field tackle. Gators come up big there. It's Amari Gans.
Now Franklin Regional has a decision to make. Looks like they're sending in the kicking unit, Matt.
Yeah, you talk about it's kind of ironic when you're talking about field goals in this game for Mr. Joey Bain, who hit 3 of them in this game last year at home at Franklin Regional. Boy, that was a fun one for the Panthers fans. Hadn't won in over 5 seasons against the Gators. The Gators came in that game 3-0, and the number 2 team ranked in the state. 16-7 the final score. The Panthers go on to win and share the conference, but kind of started to sputter and ended up losing the playoff game to Woody High in the first round. But Lance Getzey says he's building, and he feels good about the young guys. There's a lot of juniors we've been talking about.
A lot of juniors. You know, that's rare. Usually an experienced veteran team in high school football are the best teams. But, you know, we have an underclassmen-led Franklin Regional team, and that says a lot about their up-and-coming program.
Just thinking about it, you have Lemke, a junior at quarterback. You have Austin Kearns, the linebacker. He's a junior. Kyle Dupill, the running back. He's a junior. Gentili, he's a junior. You know, of the guys that we've been talking about a lot tonight, Hudock is the only one that's graduating after this year. So here is the field goal. Joey Bain. .24-yard field goal by Bain. right through the poles. Joey Bain bangs it through and gives the Panthers back the lead. It is 10-7. Franklin Regional has the lead. We'll be back on the Steel City Showcase, presented by UPMC Sports Medicine on KDKA+.
I started working out with my dad when I was 12 years old. He said, while everybody else is sleeping, you up working. It's going to pay off for you. Biggest decisions I ever had to make my junior year. I had my daughter at the time, so, I'm like, I got to provide. I had the opportunity to leave early. I had to make a decision. Was I going to leave or was I going to come back to college for an extra year? I'm about to cry talking about this shit. Once I made that decision to come back, my mindset wasn't just to be good, it was to be great.
My name is Loretta, and this is Special Olympics Pennsylvania.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is competition.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is leadership.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is life-changing.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is unified.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is inclusion.
High above Anna Marino Stadium tonight. And the Gators trail the Panthers 10-7 after a 14th place 6-minute 24-minute drive. And I'll tell you what, JP, the penalty on Coach Hall really pushed this drive forward. It gave the Panthers a spark. I think you called it a spark in that moment.
Good point. You're right. That's exactly what Franklin Regional needed at that time, because their offense was stalling out in their own territory.
10-7 Panthers back to Gateway, and they'll take it on the touchback. Minute 37 to go. Coming up at halftime, it will be Carlos Zofko breaking down the top 10 plays from last week's WPIAL action. I'm pretty sure your Vikings are featured on that one, JP.
Well, of course they are, as to be expected. Let's see what Brad Birch and company can do here. A minute 37 is nothing for him. Expect some downfield shots.
Beautiful shot there.
Over the glorious vacation spot of Monroeville.
Trying to go on vacation. Visit Monroeville. First down and 10. Birch going to let it fly over the middle. Got his man at the 37-yard line.
That's the sweet spot, right underneath the outstretched arms of the linebacker and underneath the safety play for Franklin Regional.
That was Derek Selby on the reception. First down, sticks aren't even set, but Birch takes the snap and he scrambles with it. Here comes Birch. Birch to the near side. He stiff arms a man on this near side boundary, picking up 7 on the first down scramble.
Little dual threat action. Some people said he was just a pocket passer. He's showing us the wheels right there.
Moves Reynolds from his left to his right, sets up a second down and 4. Reynolds gets the carry and not much doing there. It's Owen Sinclair, the senior, delivering the hit and stops him in his tracks, and it's going to be third down here for the Gators.
Now Gateway has 2 timeouts left with a minute to go in the half. Let's see how Don Hall uses them. Risky call there to run on second down.
Yeah, under a minute to play now. Birch back, handing it off. Interesting call here, JP, again to Reynolds. And Reynolds looks like he's just short of the first down. So it's going to be 4th down and inches here. Actually, it's going to be more like 4th and 1. And Gateway's going to take a timeout on 4th and 1. But an interesting decision there to go back to Reynolds twice.
I'm not sure about that call. I think Don Hall was trying to catch Franklin Regional off guard. We expected him to throw the ball, and I think he was trying some reverse psychology maybe.
A timeout taken by the Gators. They're talking things over, but yeah, thinking more about halftime. Carlo Zofko and Whitfield Insider going to break down the best plays. We'll also feature, for the first time, the Steelers all-peer team.
So while we have some time, I'll give you some Whitfield trivia that most people don't know. Shout out to our friend Carlo Zofko, who's doing the halftime show.
Yeah.
Did you know that he has the best completion percentage in the history of Whitfield football?
You know that I know him, right?
I do know that, but
So
I'm talking
you know.
to our viewers. We got an important play here, Matt.
It's 4th down and 1 out of the timeout, and it's just a dive play, quarterback sneak, and a rugby scrum delivers it. Brad Birch comes out of the other side of it like it's the Fort Pitt tunnels at rush hour.
How long were you waiting to use that?
They just come to me, JP. Just let them happen.
You've been holding on to that for 4 weeks now, waiting for the right time to use it. That was good.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully Carlo appreciates it, too.
Yeah, sorry, Carlo. That 4th down play interrupted your moments of fame.
He'll get all 15 of them. A spike at 29 seconds. We'll make it 2nd down. But just an interesting drive right now, JP. This has just kind of been all discombobulated. 2 run plays, you make it 4th down, so you decide you're going to just try to get the 1st down. You don't want to turn the ball over on downs. Now you can reset. Gators are out of timeouts.
Somebody's calling a timeout. Frankin Regional now.
Timeout. Panthers.
So the Panthers burn their final, and JP, I think it's time.
I think it's time. Shout out to our guy, Pittsburgh Dave, our barber, the official barber of the Steel City High School Football Showcase. He makes sure we're looking fresh every week. We appreciate it. Go check him out by Ross Park Mall on Instagram, Pittsburgh Dave. Keeps us looking good here. Look at that.
Yeah.
Right, pretty nice.
Yeah, I've always wanted to be a hair model, JP. Thank you for making it happen.
Don't thank me. Thank Pittsburgh Dave.
Second down. Second down and 10 from the 46-yard line out of this timeout. Selby goes in motion. Birch under pressure. And down he goes all the way back at the 34-yard line. Franklin Regional thought they had him once, and help finally arrived to make sure that he was done for. Owen Sinclair, I think, finishes him off here. Birch back to pass. 3rd and long. Flag is down. Throwing over the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Panthers. It's Hudak. Hudak on the return. Trying to spin out of danger, and he'll be pulled down at about the midfield stripe. Clock has expired, but we will check the penalty. First half cannot end unless it's a defensive penalty, and it is an offensive penalty. It was a holding call on Gateway. The penalty is declined, and that is the way the first half is going to come to a close. The Panthers have a 10-7 lead. Stick around. It's our Steel City Showcase halftime presented by UPMC Sports Medicine. And the band's about to put on a show at halftime. 10-7, Franklin Regional leads Gateway, and we're back to Monroeville after this on KDKA+.
I'll be there at 5 a.m. I can binge one more episode.
Let's face it, you don't always set yourself up for success.
5 more minutes. Where are my work shoes?
But GBU Life makes it easy with life insurance and annuity products to help secure your future, so you have the freedom to do more of what you love.
Congratulations! Retiring early must be nice. What are you going to do first?
I think I'll sleep in.
Secure your future today. Visit gbu.org.
La Roche University set me up for success. When I went to La Roche to visit, it stole my heart.
I transferred to La Roche because my original school just didn't work out. La Roche, I was able to be on the basketball team. They had majors I wanted, and financial aid and their assistance helped out a lot.
La Roche students have access to it all. The culture and connections in Pittsburgh and a residential campus in the North Hills. Tour campus and you'll receive a $250 visit grant. Learn about our fall events at laroche.edu.
Most individuals, when they have an injury, they want to get back immediately, whether that is getting back to work or getting back to sport or getting to their next yoga workout. We really want to give them pain-free function and mobility as best we can for the extent of their lives, so they can be active, so they can enjoy being with their loved ones.
Here at Gateway, we have a pretty vast array of customizable promotional products, from pens, signs, mugs, water bottles, really anything you can think of. Some of the main services we provide here are screen printing, embroidery, and promotional products. What really sets us apart from our competitors is our on-staff design crew and our customer service. We can really help take your branding and marketing to a new level. The main thing you can expect from us here at Gateway is quick turnaround times and a really high-quality product.
Trout Plumbing is a registered and insured master plumber that services the South Hills. They offer a variety of services, including camera inspection and dye testing. Trout Plumbing also offers a veteran and senior citizen discount. When in doubt, call the Trout at 412-983-8106.
Pittsburgh. Its long and proud heritage is beautifully preserved in the awe-inspiring buildings that surround it, in the places where we live, where we worship, and where we play. One company has been awarded the challenge of restoring all that great heritage for nearly 75 years. Mariani and Richards, restoring the heritage, preserving the pride.
And we'll welcome you back to Gateway, where it is the Franklin Regional Panthers leading the Gateway Gators 10-7 at the break. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth as the halftime show. We gave JP a couple of minutes off, contractually obligated and all. I'm Matt Fargo. Happy to have you along in tonight's halftime as Carlo Zofko, JP was talking about Carlo having the greatest passer rating in the WPIL. We won't tell you how many passes he actually completed. You can look it up for yourself. But he does a great job of breaking down the top 10 plays every week. And here it is, last week's very best from the Whippio Insider himself.
Welcome back to the Whippio Insider Show presented by Franjo Construction. I am your host and Whippio Insider, Carlo Zofko. Week 2 is in the books, and boy, did we have some of the top plays of the year just in this week alone. I'll be breaking down the top 10 for you right here, right now. Starting off at number 10, you have those Vikings from Oakland. Central Catholic in a game in which we saw Central put up 62 points in the first half. You got to score early and score often to do that. And Xavier Thomas does just that. The opening kickoff, Xavier takes it all the way in Bethel Park. Really came back at the end here, but Central Catholic was in control for much of the game. Central Catholic with the big win. At number 9, we're going to the Gateway versus North Hills game, and North Hills making all the plays early and often here. You have Connor Davis scrambling around, finding his wide receiver, Logan Johnson, in the end zone, and he goes up over the Gateway defender. North Hills comes down with the victory. At number 8, we're going back to our fellas at Peters Township. It's quarterback Nolan DeLucia rolling around and finding Thomas Aspinwall. They call him Ocho. What a big play by Ocho here. Peters goes on to win. At number 7, it was a big bounce back for the Central Valley Warriors, and there's nothing better than a big guy touchdown. Julian Samofsky, the big man, recovers the fumble and rumbles all the way to the house. Central Valley would go on to win this one. At number 6, you have the game of the year so far. Bell Vernon quarterback Braden Locks finds receiver Anthony Cruz in the end zone on a dime as Bell Vernon goes on to beat McKeesport in overtime. It's time to take a break and thank our sponsor, Franjo Construction. Franjo Construction, Western Pennsylvania's leader in commercial construction. Nestled in the heart of Homestead, Pennsylvania, this family-owned business is a beacon of trust and reliability. Recognized as the industry's go-to general contractor, Franjo isn't just about building structures, it's about building relationships. Every project is unique, and their integrated approach ensures your visions come to life, executed perfectly. As a rapidly growing organization, Franjo is dedicated to seeking the best talent who thrive in a fast-paced and challenging environment. Franjo values the importance of quality craftsmanship and strives to employ individuals who prioritize enhancing their professional careers as well as themselves. Franjo offers nothing but top-notch training that ensures your success. Become a part of the Franjo family and reap the benefits of competitive wages, 401k, excellent benefits, and paid time off. Franjo Construction, uniting our team and customers to build the future. Apply today. At number 5, we're going to go to 5A football, and last week it was the Julian Duggar show. Duggar takes it himself, calls his own number, rumbles all the way down the field. The guy could not be caught all night. Julian Duggar, what a game, what a performance. Penn Hills, the number 1 team in 5A, goes on to beat Pine Richland. At number 4, we go to our favorite defensive boys from Canon Mac, the Big Mac defensive end, Caden Singleton. He's going to Delaware next year, but that won't stop him from going to the end zone last week. Huge pick 6 for the Big Macs. Canon Mac goes on to win. At number 3, we go to West Allegheny, and it's junior defensive back Brock Cornell making the amazing one-handed grab for the interception. Wow, let's take a look at this one again. Cornell and West Allegheny go on to win. At number 2, you have those Jaguars from Thomas Jefferson. It's quarterback Sean Sullivan throwing it up top to Brody Evans, who goes up and over the West Mifflin defender to bring it down. Not only that, he won't be denied the end zone. He takes it all the way to the end zone, as this is a huge swing play in the game in which saw TJ beat West Mifflin 28-14. And finally, at number 1, in the upset of the season so far, Seton LaSalle takes down number 1 in 2 ways, Steel Valley, and it's big thanks to this big play right here by the big fella, O'Malley Daly. The guy won't be denied going into the end zone. He couldn't be tackled all night long. Seton LaSalle would go on to beat Steel Valley in double overtime. That'll do it for this week's Whippio Insider Show presented by Franjo Construction. I'm your host and Whippio Insider, Carlos Ofco, and I'll be seeing you next week.
Thanks so much to Carlo. Another great job as always. Franklin Regional leading 10-7 here at halftime at Gateway, and they are leading by 3. And you know what? The camaraderie factor of a high school football environment is instrumental to growth as a student. And that means only more so that when players unfortunately pass away, that it is a tough loss for the entire community. Here's our feature on Joe Perdue from Franklin Regional.
On a Friday night throughout Western Pennsylvania, football is a way of life for teenagers. The wins and losses can quickly become an afterthought when experiencing the loss of a brother on the field. And that's what Franklin Regional continues to deal with after the loss of Joe Perdue, who died in March from pediatric brain cancer at just the age of 19. Joe started at center for the Panthers in 2021 and graduated in 2022 before falling ill in July and battling for 8 months. The Franklin Regional community celebrated Joe's life with a bonfire on what would have been his 20th birthday just 2 weeks ago. The event raised over $63,000 to help fund research for pediatric brain cancer. The Panthers are wearing helmet decals this season with the initials JP to remember their late and beloved teammate. Tonight, we join the Frankin regional community and the entire WPIAL in remembering Joe Perdue.
I'm Andy Sheehan. I'm the lead investigator with KDKA Investigates. I live in Pittsburgh. I've raised my kids here. For decades now, I've worked trying to uncover wrongs. We looked at the quality of water here. We found dangerous levels of lead in the water. We dug further. The city's water authority took action. And today, they have replaced more than half of the lead service lines throughout the entire city of Pittsburgh. We uncover a problem, we get answers, positive change for you and your family.
Good job. Excellent job. Okay? That was tough competition, but it was good competition. It shows you what we need to work on. You can't give up. Okay? And you never have. You've never made excuses. So we just get back in, we get in the trenches, we play 2 games tomorrow, and then we see what we end up with. Got it? Yes. All right. 1, 2, 3.
La Roche University set me up for success. When I went to La Roche to visit, it stole my heart.
I transferred to La Roche because my original school just didn't work out. La Roche, I was able to be on the basketball team. They had majors I wanted, and financial aid and their assistance helped out a lot.
La Roche students have access to it all. The culture and connections in Pittsburgh and a residential campus in the North Hills. Tour campus and you'll receive a $250 visit grant. Learn about our fall events at laroche.edu.
This Saturday, tune in to KDKA Plus for D3 college football as the Teal Tomcats battle the Washington and Jefferson Presidents. Saturday at 1 p.m. only on KDKA Plus.
You can now get more local news on KDKA Plus. More breaking news.
Residents are being asked to stay outside of their house.
More community stories. More weather.
A couple of funnel clouds were spotted.
Weekdays at 12:30 on KDKA Plus.
Maya, can you come in here, please?
Yeah, Dad, what's up?
Is that your brother on the TV?
Yeah, that's my brother. It looks like it's tonight's game.
But how can that be your brother? I have never missed a single game.
We couldn't go tonight. Remember, you broke your foot.
Right. Well, I don't know who's putting on this production, but without them, I'd be missing this.
Are you an aspiring entrepreneur, a dreamer with a passion for success? With Koza Law Group, your journey starts now. Whether you're dreaming of a small startup or envisioning a global empire, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Starting a business shouldn't be scary. It's about embracing the spirit of innovation, taking calculated risks, and believing in your potential to make a difference. We are more than just legal advisors. We are redefining legal services. Contact us today to experience the Koza Law difference.
And we'll welcome you back here to Anna Moreno Stadium in Gateway, where it is the Franklin Regional Panthers having the 10-7 lead at the break. Back here in the broadcast booth, as we have a great production staff at JRM Productions that give you the high school football games live here on KDKA Plus all season long. But we also have others that are working for JRM Films that give you the behind the scenes and break things down. And you're going to get to see the latest edition of our Sights and Sounds from last week when Montour came back to win over South Fayette.
Tonight, two districts 15 minutes apart meet head-on at Montour High School as the visiting South Fayette Lions battle the Spartans on our Steel City High School Football Showcase.
Everything y'all got. Every play, every second. I need it. Hey! Let's get it rocking!
Right off the opening kickoff, Montour was set to give it, but fumbled it away at the 25-yard line as the ball went right out of the hands. Quarterback sneak, push forward into the end zone for the South Fayette touchdown. 1 yard out, Nico Lamondi scores to give the Lions the lead. Halftime, looking deep down the field. Pass is caught into the hands of Daniel Betts for the touchdown. 51 yards out. As Marcinko, the kicker, will also punt it away. Very good punt, has a strong leg. Bounces, and Deans will field it after one hop. At the 15, Deans still going past the 20. Makes the man miss. Lots of open running room for Deans past the 30. 35-40. Deans with blockers in front of him past midfield. Deans past the 40 in his drive down inside the 40-yard line for Wolf. Quarterback run again, up the middle. Wolf bounces it. Near side of the field. Wolf dives for the pylon. Touchdown. Montour.
Migliano's got to step up.
Lamondi under pressure and taken down. Robert Gardner, the senior captain defensive lineman, collapses in on Lamondi. Wolf trying to punch it in. Up the middle. Wolf to the 2, to the 1, to the goal line. Jake Wolf. Touchdown Montour. The Spartans take the lead with 1:17 to go. Here we go, last play of the game. Lamondi rolls out to his right. Heaves it, incomplete. The pressure got to him. As Montour comes back to defeat their rivals, the South Fayette Lions. The Spartans move to 3-0 and defeat South Fayette here on the Steel City High School Football Showcase.
Another great job by JRM Films breaking it down and the inside scoop on our highlights. And you can catch our highlights all season long on our social media channel, Steel City Showcase on Instagram. We post our sights and sounds there every week, and you can see a little bit more of your favorite games all throughout the season. Hey, the Pittsburgh Steelers have teamed up with us in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and the Mentoring Partnership to build their inaugural Steelers All-Peer Team, featuring 11 high school football players from all around the region to go above and beyond to provide mentor-like support for their teammates. And there are 11 winners that will receive some pretty cool opportunities. A chance to participate in a virtual discussion with Steeler players, an on-field celebration at a Steelers home game this season, and a $1,000 donation to their school's athletic program, and, of course, recognition on Steelers social media and recognition on our showcase here on KDKA+. Our first Week 1 recipient is Keith Minson from Baldwin High School. He is an all-conference football player, highly ranked wrestler, high honor student, an executive on his National Honor Society. He has a 4-year captain mention for the football team. He can be found tutoring teammates and other students, just saying hi to everyone. When he walks into a room, Keith can also be found volunteering on weekends, helping coach and referee youth flag football. And Week 2's recipient is Julian Stevens from Greensburg-Salem High School, the senior tight end and linebacker. He's a 3-sport athlete that exhibits extraordinary leadership and mentoring abilities. Julian ranks among the best of teammates. He has great motivation and communication skills, and he has led several school and community initiatives and leads the way for players to support other school sports and activities, including community youth football. And JP, I think that's one of the great things is, you know, you're a great high school football player, that's great, but also being a great teammate is also great.
Yeah, I mean, that's so important. Doing it off the field as well. You know, what you do on the field is important, but it's even more important to be a good person off the field.
Welcome back, by the way, up here to the booth with us, 10-7 at halftime, as Franklin Regional has the advantage. Boy, that last series, I can't get over it. It was just discombobulated. I don't know what was going on there for Gateway. They had enough time that they could have probably gone down and at least tried a field goal, but not enough doing, and Franklin Regional has the 3-point advantage.
You're right. That last drive wasn't a great showcase of clock management. I was expecting them to use Brad Burch to throw downfield, and like we saw on the first and second drives for Gateway. And, you know, they used the run game, which we weren't expecting to see. So I'm expecting them to see more Brad Burch in the second half. He needs to get going.
All right, let's take a look at our halftime stats as we take a look. It is 160 yards total for Franklin Regional to 113 for Gateway. Even Steven, 8-8. Between Gateway and Franklin Regional first down. Same goes for turnovers and the penalty yards, just a 4-year discrepancy and a 4-yard discrepancy. And that really tells the story of how close this game has been, albeit these teams different styles, but still very similar result.
Yeah, we expected a defensive matchup tonight. Low scoring, as we mentioned during the pregame. Gateway has only had 21 points all season so far. Yes, they've been without Brad Birch the past 2 weeks, but we expected a little bit more than 7 points tonight for the Gators so far. But I think, in the first half, teams were just feeling each other out, seeing the strategies, seeing the schemes, and now they're going to let their guys loose this half.
All right, let's take a look at the first half highlights. It was Franklin Regional getting things going, but the Gators, they're trying to find their first win of the season here at the Swamp. And it was Lemke dumping it off to Hudock and let Hudock take it to the house.
Great screen pass. Great call, concept by Franklin Regional to catch Gateway off guard. And this is what we talked about. Brad Birch was on fire the first drive, doing it on the ground and through the air. I need to see more of him in the second half, doing what he does best.
Lemke under some duress, and he did what JP says never do, throw it across your body into the middle of the field. It was an interception, but nothing really came of that. Gateway had a big defensive stand at the goal line and ended up holding Franklin Regional to a 24-yard field goal, and that's where we are, 10-7. Panthers have the advantage over the Gators. When we come back, we'll put 12 minutes on the board. We'll start the third quarter. It's week number 3, and this one far from decided. Come back with us. It's the Steel City Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine right here on KDKA+.
Panera's You Pick 2 means when part of you wants crispy, crunchy, fresh, and part of you wants melty, smoky, peppery. Both U's win big. You pick 2 and get more. Cater your next event with Panera.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Fermanti Brothers, Shorty's Tap and Taco, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
Trout Plumbing is a registered and insured master plumber that services the South Hills. They offer a variety of services, including camera inspection and dye testing. Trout Plumbing also offers a veteran and senior citizen discount. When in doubt, call the Trout at 412-983-8106.
Most individuals, when they have an injury, they want to get back immediately, whether that is getting back to work or getting back to sport or getting to their next yoga workout. We really want to give them pain-free function and mobility as best we can for the extent of their lives, so they can be active, so they can enjoy being with their loved ones.
Tune in this Friday to the Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine as the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars take on the Bell Vernon Leopards in a battle of the Mon Valley. Friday night at 7 on KDKA+. Are you ready?
And we welcome you back to Monroeville and Anna Moreno Stadium, Gateway, the home of the Gators. Right now, the Panthers have that 3-point lead on those Gators. Let's take a look at some scores from out of town. Bell Vernon, a 7-0 lead over Penn Trafford. Game to keep an eye on because we'll be visiting them next week on the beach, as some call it. Thomas Jefferson has a 28-7 lead over Latrobe. TJ and Bell Vernon will play each other right here on KDKA Plus next week. South Park, slim 17-14 lead over Beaver. That's a big one in Class 3A. Aliquippa 28, Montour 12, so the Spartans within 2 touchdowns of the Quips hanging around at Heinz Field. Shaler, they're undefeated, looking like they're going to go to 4-0. They lead 23-10 over Hempfield. Central Valley, they have a 14-6 advantage over Chartiers Valley, and Central Catholic leads Mount Lebanon. Get this one, JP, 35-0. The Vikings leading the Blue Devils. And, man, I don't know if anyone's going to stop. The Vikes are rolling.
It's about time you agree with me. I think nobody expected a 35-0. I mean, everybody expected a 35-0 deficit so far for Central Catholic. So I'm glad they're, back to their usual programming tonight. Good for the Vikings to see them do well.
Yes, and now it will be the Gators to get the ball back to start the second half. Franklin Regional will send it the way of the Gators as Joey Bain has this one teed up. This one's going to be short of the end zone, giving the Gators a chance to return it, but it's bobbled and picked up by Lewis, who's in some trouble and shakes away from it. Lewis down the numbers. Lewis shakes another at the 30. And finally pulled down at the 35-yard line in a best-case scenario for the Gators, who it looked like were going to start inside their own 10. And number 4 in black had different plans.
Well, that's exactly what Gateway needed to start this half. A way other than offense to get a spark, get some momentum. They needed that on special teams or defense. Good to see Gateway get some momentum to start the second half.
Good to see that Stephen Jenkins is back for the Gators. You remember he went out early in the first half. Good to see that. This is going to be blown dead. I think Kenny Lewis took off a hair early in the receiving slot on this near sideline. I don't know if we have a wide shot of this replay to see of him taking off. His false start penalty is going to move back 5 yards to the 30-yard line. Take my word for it, it happened. First down at 15 at the 30 for Birch. Zinging it down the far side. He got his receiver. It's Jenkins. Stephen Jenkins to the house. A touchdown for the Gators. 70 yards for the score. And number 3 contributes again.
Well, Matt, what did we say at halftime? That's what we wanted to see from Gateway's offense. Give the ball to Birch and let him throw downfield. Do what he does best. Put the ball in the hands of their athletes. Jenkins makes a guy miss, and he's 85 yards gone.
Extra point from Blake Marsh is no good. So the game remains a 3-point game, but the Gators' first lead of the ball game. Here are the third early, 13-10. Gators have the lead of the showcase, presented by UPMC Sports Medicine. We're back on KDKA Plus.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 5 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Looking to escape a dead-end job? We can help. Apply at 2 Men in a Truck today for a good job that can become a great career.
This Saturday, tune in to KDKA Plus for D3 college football as the Teal Tomcats battle the Washington and Jefferson Presidents. Saturday at 1 p.m. only on KDKA Plus.
And we welcome you back here to Monroeville, 13-10. Gators have the lead. First time of the night. Back with Johnny Patrician, Matt Fargo with you, our JRN production squad. Gators, quick score, puts them in the lead for the first time. Then they squib this kick down to the Panthers. Picked up by Hudak, and Hudak down the far sideline. He has the kicker to beat. Hudak pulled down. No, he finally gets pulled down at the 20-yard line. Aiden Hudak almost has the answer right off the ensuing kickoff. And instead, the Panthers set up in great field position inside the red zone. 1st and 10 Panthers. And how about the answer from 16 in blue and gold?
Hudak was moving. He put the burners on there. And, you know, Matt, we're seeing the same thing we saw in the first half. Both teams scored on their first drive of the first half, and it looks like we're going to have the same theme in the second half.
76 yards on the return. Inside the 20-yard line for the Panthers. From the 18-yard line, it's Dupil getting the carry. Dupil following blockers inside the 15.
Just when Gateway finally had some momentum in the game, Franklin Regional answers at the perfect time.
And it does seem like the Panthers find the spark when they exactly need it. Certainly getting it into the end zone here and not settling for a tie. A key is Dupil weaves his way, and he's in with the pill. Dupil for the touchdown. The Panthers respond in 2 plays, plus an ensuing kickoff. The Panthers are back in front.
It took Gateway 2 plays to score. It took Franklin Regional 2 plays to score. We're finally getting some momentum here by both teams. Great vision, patience by Dupil there. They got to continue to give Dupil the pill.
You like that?
I do like that. You like that.
Yeah, who do I think I am, Kurt? Extra point is through the poles and good. Put in by Joey Bain. 17-13, and a burst of life here in this second half from both sides as Brad Birch knows he's going to get back out there and sling it some more. But going back to a thought that we had earlier in this game, this is not what Franklin Regional wants, is this back and forth shootout type game. But man, when they needed to, they get the big special teams play and 2 great runs by Dupil. Just like that, they're back in front.
The kickoff return was key. You're right. Franklin Regional does not want to make this a shootout with Gateway. And if it wasn't for the kickoff return, we would be having a long, methodical drive from Franklin Regional. So they want to keep this low-scoring, a defensive game, a one-possession game. But you can't argue with that. You know, that 85-yard or whatever it was kickoff return by Hudak set the tone for Franklin Regional on that drive. And now we'll see if Brad Birch can answer again. But I want to make note, that missed extra point could come back to be a costly missed opportunity for Gateway.
Oh, it's Dupil to put this, I beg your pardon, Joey Bain to put this back into the air. And here's Kenny Lewis on the return. Lewis showing what he can do, juking and jiving. And he got a path here to the near side boundary. Here's Lewis switching hands with the ball down the near sideline. Stop and go move. And he has a burst of speed and it's into Franklin Regional territory. And suddenly special teams on both sides seeing a missed extra point. 2 great returns on kickoffs, setting up Gateway with great field position to respond.
Watch this. This is impressive here. Look at this change of direction. Whoop. Little Chris Berman special there. But every time Kenny Lewis gets the ball in his hands, he's making guys miss. He was the one that had the opening touchdown for Gateway that got called back on the first drive. I'd like to see him get the ball more in this half.
It's 1st down and 10 for the Gators. They're back out at the 44-yard line. Brad Birch trips out to the far side. Screen pass is set up and thrown. Danger dangerous pass. Incomplete, intended for Lewis, and it was Kyle Dupil who, if he would have turned and looked to his right, he would have had the football in his hands.
Yeah, it was, but I want to give a shout-out to the quarterback, Chase Lemke. Great job there by him knowing it's a screen pass and him trying to beat the block there on the perimeter, making it muddy waters to make that completion on the perimeter.
Birch on 2nd and 10. Back to pass. Clean pocket. Throws down the near sideline. And there was some hand checking all the way. No flags. Both players jockeying for the football, and it goes incomplete. Officials agree. No flag down as the intended receiver was Derek Selby for the Gators.
Birch wishes he could have that one back as he pats himself on the chest saying to his coach, that was on me. He wishes he could keep that pass in bounds there to give his receiver a chance.
3rd down and 10 for the Gators. Designed run play for Birch. Birch weaves his way. He has a 1st down and more. Brad Birch is at the 30. Stop! Changes direction and is finally pulled down at the 31-yard line. But Birch showing his moves, juking and jibing his way for a Gators 1st down.
I love that play call by Don Hall. Everybody in the stadium was expecting him to throw downfield on 3rd and 10. Hit him with a quarterback draw when Franklin Regional wasn't expecting it. Clearly he can run too.
Fresh set of downs for the Gators as they knock on the Panthers' door. 1st and 10. Back to pass. Birch throws over to the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. Tried to get Kenny Lewis on the crossing pattern, and he cannot hook up with his intended receiver. It will be 2nd down.
Birch is lucky that one was not intercepted. Franklin Regional was in a deep cover 2 shell, and the safety on the back half of that field almost came over for a big hit.
2nd down, 10. Reynolds moves to Birch's right. Birch has some pressure, steps up into the pocket, evades one, and now takes off and runs with it, and he's leveled right at the 1st down sticks, and flags come flying. Boy, he's a quarterback, but he did not go down lightly on that one. You think you slide there, but he went for it.
Nah, there's no sliding in high school football. Brad Birch is tough, and he's showing that to his teammates. He can run the ball and put his head down and get some extra yardage. Takes a hard hit and gets right back up. Love to see it.
Great crowd on hand here tonight. And it's going to be a head contact penalty on Franklin Regional. Take another look at this.
I'm going to try to bite my tongue here, but as a defender, I don't understand how you can not do that. I mean, this is tackle football, and I'm all for safety of the players, but Birch is getting dragged down by a different defender.
Right.
So
Dupil was breaking down, not assuming that he is going to be lower than he was.
Right. As a tackler, everybody's moving in split seconds.
Not a malicious play at all, but sets up Gateway in great field position here. 1st down and 10 from the 11. They give it off to the right side. It's Reynolds. Reynolds with a flag down is pushed out of bounds. We'll check more laundry now. It's a holding call on Gateway.
Been a lot of penalties tonight so far on both sides of the field.
At costly times.
You're right.
This holding call going to march the Gators back.
Holding against the Gators.
The Gators were knocking on the door. That holding call is costly.
And you could get a 1st down, but it's about at the 1-yard line is where you could pick up the 1st down. So it's as close to end goal as you can get. 1st and 20 at the 21 will be the official marking. Birch quickly out of his hand, sets it up in the flat near side. Lewis tries to scramble his way past a couple defenders and push forward to the 15-yard line. So he picks up 6 of those lost penalty yardage, and it will be 2nd down.
Great job by Lewis there to get back outside. That play is really designed for him to, as a tunnel screen to get back inside that defender there. but he read the leverage correctly and just used his speed to get outside on the perimeter.
9:15 to play here in the third. Birch again puts it into the stomach of Reynolds off the left side. Jaquan Reynolds, the 5'8", 185-pound senior, carries it forward, and he's at about the 9, where it will be third down, and a timeout has been called. And Franklin Regional might be the ones who are going to burn this timeout.
I like the flow so far that Gateway has in this drive. Some runs, some passes, they're mixing it up and using all their athletes.
Hey, we got more football for you here on KDKA Plus. Tomorrow, Division III college football as Westminster, the Titans, take on the Washington and Jefferson Presidents. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock right here on KDKA Plus. It's a basically JRM Productions just does football all weekend here on KDKA Plus.
What more can you ask for as a football fan? Friday night, Saturday night?
Friday night, Saturday night. We got to move a game to Sunday.
Yeah,
Have
right.
that too. Pitch right. Reynolds bottled up. And help arrives as pushing and shoving continues. And right in the thick of things was Lemke.
Love to see that quarterback getting in on the action on defense.
Also give credit to Heath Silva for Franklin Original. That's the Yinzer style points right there. Fourth down. Motion out of the slot, it's Lewis. High snap, Birch handles it. Here comes pressure from the edge. He evades it, throws it into the end zone, has a receiver there. Overshot him, incomplete, no flags. Franklin Regional holds strong, the defensive front, barreling down on Birch. And Franklin Regional gets a huge stop and gets the football back for their offense.
Huge stop. So that holding call came costly, as we talked about earlier.
You know, it's funny, we've been talking about this throughout this broadcast about how Franklin Regional does the perfect thing to spark what they need when they need to. And it's almost seeming like, at least to this point, Gateway's done the thing to negate a drive when they can't allow that to happen. Of course, there's a lot of time left in this game, and Gateway's defense has played well with the exception of that two-play drive that was short field anyway. But it does feel that way, doesn't it?
You're right, 100%. Yeah, they keep shooting themselves in the foot. Gateway does. You know, costly penalties. Not very disciplined on their part, but like you mentioned, there's still a lot of game left to be played. And I have a feeling Gateway's going to be down in that red zone again. They'll get another shot.
Getting a timeout taken. But I'm not sure from who. I don't know who took that, but it's 17-13.
Jenkins wanted a penalty, a pass interference, or a holding call on that fourth down, but unfortunately he didn't get it.
Let's thank our 2023 Steel City Showcase sponsors: UPMC Sports Medicine, Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, GBU Life, 2 Men and a Truck, by Koza Law Group, by Special Olympics Pennsylvania, by Leeway Enterprises, by Ready, by LaRoche University, by Mariani and Richards Incorporated, by Washington and Jefferson College, by the Waterfront, by Panera Bread, and by Allegheny College. Notice, JP, the Waterfront, a great sponsor of ours, and a great location.
Go ahead, tell him. Tell him what happened.
Oh, you can tell him if you want to.
Matt claims he's the voice of Pittsburgh, which
I do not claim that.
I believe he is.
I want to put that on the record. I do not claim that.
So we were supposed to have dinner last night at Burgatory in the Waterworks, and Matt claims he's never heard of the Waterworks before.
Thank you, Jake.
So I was at the Waterworks Burgatory waiting for him, and he's at the Waterfront Burgatory.
To Pill carried forward. There's a flag down, and it's a holding call on the Panthers, and that's going to put them in the shadow of their own goalposts. Easily confused. I'm a waterfront guy, you know. That's
easily confused. Yeah, that's just. I'm glad we have better communication tonight rather than last night. Big missed opportunity on your part.
Well, give you some gas money. My bad, brother.
But it's a team effort. I'll take responsibility. I should have done a better job communicating.
Well, and I was just supporting our sponsor at the waterfront. You know, all those great businesses there. This is just Franklin Regional trying to get out of harm's way here, just trying to fight for some yardage as Lemke pushes forward back to the original line of scrimmage where it'll be second down and 10.
Tough situation here, backed up in their own red zone. Field position is so important. You'd like to get a positive play here on these next two plays, and then a good punt, unless you get the first down, of course.
Back to the ground game in Dupil, and Dupil is just lighting to get a bottle right now. He's fighting his way just shy of the 15-yard line, so he's at the 14. Will be third down. Pretty manageable now.
Obviously, if you're Gateway, you got to be disappointed about not converting on fourth down. But the positive to that is that you have great field position and an opportunity to hold Franklin Regional to a punt and then start your own drive on the 40-yard line. So let's see if they can do it here.
They fake the pitch, and keeping it is Lemke, and Lemke's buried in the backfield. Gators come up big. Amari Gans, he's had a couple big tackles, shaking his head. As it's fourth down, and the special teams unit's going to come out here, and this is going to be another one of those big special teams plays, one side or the other. Can Franklin Regional even a little bit tilt field position back in their favor, or will Gateway have great opportunity here to retake the lead? Had 3 lead changes in this ball game so far. That is a fair catch at the 45-yard line, so not too shabby there from Joey Bain, as it will be Gateway's offense back out on the field. When we come back to Monroeville, 17-13, Franklin Regional leads it on the showcase, presented by UPMC Sports Medicine, right here on KDKA+.
Tune in this Friday to the Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine as the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars take on the Bell Vernon Leopards in a battle of the Mon Valley. Friday night at 7 on KDKA+. Are you ready?
You can now get more local news on KDKA+. More breaking news.
Residents are being asked to stay outside of their house.
More community stories. More weather.
A couple of funnel clouds were spotted.
Weekdays at 12:30 on KDKA+.
Pittsburgh. Its long and proud heritage is beautifully preserved in the awe-inspiring buildings that surround it, in the places where we live, where we worship, and where we play. One company has been awarded the challenge of restoring all that great heritage for nearly 75 years. Mariani and Richards, restoring the heritage, preserving the pride.
I started working out with my dad when I was 12 years old. He said, "While everybody else is sleeping, you up working. It's gonna pay off for you." Biggest decisions I ever had to make my junior year. I had my daughter at the time, so, I'm like, I gotta provide. I had the opportunity to leave early. I had to make a decision. Was I gonna leave or was I gonna come back to college for an extra year? I'm about to cry talking about this shit. Once I made that decision to come back, my mindset wasn't just to be good, it was to be great.
Another beautiful shot of Monroeville. Gators have the advantage, or Panthers have the advantage over the Gators, 17-13. Gators back to work offensively. Birch from the shotgun. Hands it off to Reynolds, and Reynolds has an open field. Reynolds spins down at the 30-yard line. It's a first down for the Gators at the 28.
Gateway spread them out there by putting their receiver splits outside the numbers, and they hand the ball off. Great play design by Don Hall there.
21 yards on the run for Reynolds. Back to 2. This time, Jaquan is bottled up by the Panther defense. First one there is Jordan Yates. Got some help from Giuliano Marion. They call him Bear. And there's a Panther that is down. Looks like it's just a cramp. Athletic training staff is out to 10. .5:25 to go here in the third. And the Panthers have a 17-13 advantage. Curious, JP, on what do you think the big storyline is in the Whippeal so far? What most interesting to you to this point?
That's a good question. I think there's some unexpected teams that are good. You know, I think the perennial powers, as expected, you know, Central Catholic, North Allegheny, TJ, all the big dogs are good again. Right. You know, we talk about with 6 classifications, you mentioned not many teams in 6A. So
yeah, you got 4 teams to make the playoffs and 5 teams in 6A.
Right. But in all the other classifications, I mean, we've had a great game every Friday night that we've done. So I know the buzzword that people like to talk about is the parity. The parity in high school football in the Whippeal is great.
Yeah.
You know, we never know who can win on any given Friday night. Last week we had a great game. Same thing with 2 weeks ago. So, and we got another one-possession game here tonight that we're excited to see the third and fourth quarter take place here.
Welcome in the broadcast booth, everybody. Hanging out. That's Johnny Patrician. I'm Matt Fargo. If you got us confused, I want to make sure it's said. Out of that injury, Birch had some pressure, was able to evade it, throws it into the end zone. Jump ball, incomplete, knocked away. Chase Lemke breaking it up, intended for Stephen Jenkins.
Stephen Jenkins was open for a second, but the rush was getting to Birch, and he had to reload, set his feet, and launch it, and it couldn't get there quick enough. Great recovery by the Panthers defense there. That would have changed the whole landscape of this game, Matt.
3rd and 10. Birch going to run for it again. And Brad Birch on a perfectly called and executed quarterback draw. Again, they burn him on the 3rd down and long QB draw.
You know, I'm not too sure, but I think on 3rd and 10, Gateway likes to do quarterback draws.
Going out on the limb there, brother.
Franklin Regional, 3rd and 10 next drive. Gateway's going to run a quarterback draw.
1st and 10 for the Gators. Birch completes his pass, but he's already on the turf. And that's Derek Selby. And that's going to end up losing a couple.
Yeah, that would have been better if it was incomplete. Stating the obvious there, but now they're behind the sticks again in the red zone. That's why a positive play on 1st down is so important, especially when their red zone offense is struggling.
2nd and 11. Panther defense trying to strap it down again. They shut the door the last time. Here comes some more pressure. Birch hit as he throws, and it is broken up beautifully. Slicing in, Heath Silva, the junior, breaks up the pass.
That pass rush of Franklin Regional was getting to Birch again. They're not making it easy for him. And as a defensive guy, we like to say, we want to make the quarterback throw out of a well. And by saying that, I mean have guys in your face, all around you, behind you, beside you, make it uncomfortable for that quarterback.
We have a injured player down, so we'll keep an eye on the field while we take a look at a word from our friends at UPMC Sports Medicine.
Most individuals When they have an injury, they want to get back immediately, whether that is getting back to work or getting back to sport or getting to their next yoga workout. We really want to give them pain-free function and mobility as best we can for the extent of their lives, so they can be active, so they can enjoy being with their loved ones.
And we welcome you back to Gateway, thanks to UPMC Sports Medicine.
Exciting game
Still, tending to the injured player. Yeah, this is kind of what I expected, JP. This is one of those things where Franklin Regional came in, and they came in with expectations of competing for the conference again. There's no question about it.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a hard-fought game here tonight. And what can you ask for? What more can you ask for? Is a one-possession game heading into the fourth quarter here soon.
Third down, 11.
Sorry, Matt is a funny guy, man. He's cracking jokes up here in the booth.
Yeah, it's something like that.
But Gateway needs a touchdown here. They missed that extra point earlier in the game, so not sure how much confidence they have in their field goal unit. I mean, field goals are hard in high school football in general, let alone after you miss an extra point.
Third down and a big one. Back to pass. Birch going to throw it into the end zone. Knocked away, incomplete. Another great coverage play by Silva. Heath is coming up big for the Panthers.
That was close to a PI, in my opinion. I don't know if he got there a second early or not. Oh, man. I don't know about that one, Matt. Usually they're going to call that when the arm's wrapped around you before the ball gets there. But the Zebras didn't see it. So it goes down as a pass breakup, and as a defensive guy, I love to see it.
Didn't sound like you did.
I want to make sure our viewers are excited, you know. The common viewer
it's a show, I get
likes points scored. So I just care about the entertainment for everybody else. That's what I'm here for.
Fair enough.
People pleaser.
You know, I mean,
crowd pleaser.
Selfless guy. Was on the football field and now in the broadcast booth doing the same thing.
The ultimate teammate.
Yeah, no question. I see why.
I appreciate that.
As we get a timeout taken for this field goal attempt, potentially put the Gators within one. That is Blake Marsh.
You know, it seems like Gateway has been in Franklin Regional's territory the whole second half here so far, other than that long kickoff return that Franklin Regional had. But they haven't been able to capitalize and get in the end zone, other than the long pass play they had. You know, they keep stalling out in the red zone here. Disappointing if you're a Gateway Gator fan.
Marsh to attempt the field goal, 34 yards. It looks good, and the officials agree. It's good. And the lights flash here at Gateway.
The light show.
Wow. It's 17-16. Panthers have a 1-point advantage here in the third quarter. 4 minutes, 16 seconds, and next week we have another big one. Bell Vernon, the Leopards host the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars on the beach. We'll have the call for you, 7 o'clock right here on KDKA+. Both teams coming into tonight undefeated. Bell Vernon just a 7-point lead over Penn Trafford last I heard. TJ, pretty commanding lead in their game, so could be a battle of unbeatens, and of course getting to see a big-time recruit in Quentin Martin next week, who's headed to your alma mater, one of your alma maters at Penn State.
Yes, he is a big-time recruit. But, Matt, you got to explain to the viewers that don't know what the beach is. Because some people at home are probably thinking,
don't get me started on this.
I don't think there's an ocean in Bell Vernon. But there is a beach. There is a beach.
You're just, you're like a vacation destination guy today. You're telling everybody to come to Monroeville, now go to the beach in Bell Vernon.
Anyways, they have tan turf there at Bell Vernon High School, for those of you that don't know. Nicknamed the beach.
That was a return for Franklin Regional by Brinker. Brinker stepped right in front of his teammate to return this kick. You were a return guy in high school. How aggravated would you be if you think that would be your ball and teammate cuts you off?
Well, not to toot my own horn here, but you gave me the opportunity.
Yes,
so
I did.
I will let those of you know that when I left high school, I had the PIAA record for return touchdowns.
Hey.
We had a great wall set up at Central Catholic. Shout out to our special teams coordinator and Ron Fuchs.
I called a couple of those returns back in the day. Remember one against Carnegie Mellon, at Carnegie Mellon. First down and 10. They're going to shovel it over to the left side. Getting the carry is Gentili. Hasn't gotten a ton of carries today, but also nice change of pace. Picks up 3 yards on first down, and see maybe 4. And this is going to be back to what Franklin Regional is doing, right? The ground and pound. They're going to try to take some time off the clock, especially with a 1-point advantage.
Yeah, the 1-point advantage. You know, the only differentiator in this game so far is the missed extra point. Or else we'd have a tie ball game.
Yep.
So that's going to come back to be an interesting theme in the fourth quarter here.
This was incredible. Gateway flipped the formation at the last second. And for Gateway, Sean Moorfield Jr. came from the far side all the way to the near side. You'll see it here. And he comes up, number 10 on your screen, and he lays the lick right away. Nothing doing for the Panthers.
And that's the key for Gateway's defense, is to stop the run on first and second down and put Franklin Regional in a must-throw situation on third down, which they do not like to do.
Third down, 7. Fake the handoff. Rolling near side, throwing, jump ball, and got a receiver. And again coming down with it, Aiden Hudock comes away with it. There is a flag down. But again, just kind of a jump ball up to Hudock, and he goes up and gets it. But I think this is coming back as it was an ineligible receiver downfield call on the Panthers.
Hudock's having a great second half. Whether that play counted or not, he can still put it on his huddle highlight film because that was an impressive high-point catch. And clearly, Lemke has a lot of confidence and faith in his guys because he just throws it up there knowing that Hudock's going to come down with it.
Puts him back behind the sticks. Panthers now back at the 27-yard line.
Now I'm going to be interested to see if Franklin Regional plays it safe and runs the ball, waves the white flag to punt on fourth down, or throw a third and long with the Gateway defenders back there sitting on it.
Third down, 12.
3rd and 12 for the Panthers. Back to pass, set up the screen play to Dupil. Dupil breaks a tackle, and he's right at the sticks, and the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by Gateway. And Gateway has the football. It's Kenny Lewis, and Lewis is going to take it into the end zone for a scoop and score. Gator touchdown.
What a change of events here at Antamarino Stadium. Wow! We did not expect that. A defensive touchdown, and it has the Gateway Stadium rocking tonight.
Take a look at this again because everybody's going to wonder, was he down, right? Oh, man. Oh, brother.
I don't know. At first, I was shocked that they almost got the first down on a screen pass on third and long.
We're going to see it again here because there's so many opportunities for Gateway to go after this ball, but when it comes out.
Is his elbow down?
Yes, but it's right as the ball. Great job by our talented team of the truck here to slow this down.
It's difficult because
it is.
Dupil is really laying on top of number 10. So technically he's not down, but I think maybe that left elbow touches the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's close, Matt.
They called a timeout. Because really, You go for 2 here. Make it a full 7. If we could take a look at it again, obviously, Panthers feel differently about this. There's another angle of it.
But this call is so important, Matt, because if Gateway can take the lead, then that forces Franklin Regional to change their approach on offense. If they're playing from behind, they have to throw the ball to save the clock and to get some chunk plays going downfield.
You know what I'm going to say about this play, JP? If I'm in New York and, in a different level of football where challenges can happen, I think it's inconclusive. I think whatever the call on the field was would stand. I don't think you could overturn it one way or the other. Two-point conversion here. Birch throws, got his man, stretches. 2-point conversion is good. Steven Jenkins came back from injury tonight, got injured again, and is back like he never left.
You know, a perfect concept there, drew up by John Hall. You can expect man coverage on the goal line like that, and they run the classic mesh route. They bring Jenkins from across the other side of the formation, and Birch hits him right in stride, allowing him to reach across the goal line for the successful 2-point conversion.
And the Gators now have a 7-point lead. It's our 4th lead change of the ball game. And the Panthers going to have to go back to work offensively, now trailing by 7.
Well, and now the extra point, the missed extra point that we kept talking about, is no longer a factor.
No doubt. They got the 2. They got it back.
Wow, the tides have changed so far here in the second half.
But going back to the Gators' first lead of this game early in the third quarter when they took 2 plays to score, the Panthers responded with a great kickoff return, and 2 plays later they were back in front. So see if the Panthers have another response in them.
Yes, I would imagine Brad Birch and company for Gateway are going to hope that their defense can hold on to the lead a little bit longer than they did last time.
Yeah. Marsh back the way of the Panthers on the squib, muffed around, picked up on the bounces there.
And they're not going to kick it to
Darwin Jones. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see another return from him. Do you?
No.
That was Darwin Jones, one of the upmen, a junior on this Franklin Regional squad, and now the Panthers to work. I mean, I'm assuming you did most of your return work as a return man, but were you ever a part of being further up and being one of the upmen? That has to be a pretty nerve-wracking moment when the ball's bouncing around like that and you know guys are coming down to try to take your head off.
Coming down full speed, and you're not even looking at them. You're looking at the ball on the ground trying to pick it up, and as soon as you look up, they're right in your grill.
Great conference opener. If you just tuned in, Franklin Regional enters tonight 2-1. Gateway 0-3, but this is the conference opener for both teams tonight, so really season begins tonight if you want to make the postseason. As DuPille gets the carry and he's stopped for no gain.
Football season goes by so fast. I mean, you just brought up the postseason. It seems like we just started our kickoff a couple minutes ago, you know?
Yeah.
And now we're already talking about the postseason.
Yeah, the push for the postseason begins tonight with conference play. You know, there's 5 conference games. Both of these teams went 4-1 in the conference last year. Tied for the conference championship. They, of course, don't have tiebreakers. They both got plaques. And DuPille shut down. Gateway all over it. Robertson, Lewis, Juni on the stop.
So far, when Gateway's faced with a long third down, they run quarterback draw. Franklin Regional, when they're faced with a long third down, they run a running back screen. We'll see if Franklin Regional diverts from that overall strategy so far that they've gone with this game.
Morty Ivy trying to get the Gateway student section into this one. Gators trying to get their first win of the year and tick it down here to the fourth quarter with a 7-point lead. Defense needs a stop, and Franklin Regional is going to call a timeout. So the Panthers burn a timeout. Oh, we're talking about Gateway trying to get a win tonight. What will they do the rest of the conference schedule? Well, coming up for the Gators, they'll take on the Mustangs next week at Plum. When Plum's a team that's on the rise, that won't be an easy one. Then the Hempfield Spartans will come to town here to Anna Marino Stadium. And on the road at Penn Trafford, who is a team that feel like is still feeling themselves out. What kind of team they're going to be. Lost a lot at graduation a season ago. But John Ruane over there at Penn Trafford, always well-coached, great teams at Penn Trafford. So in this classification, doesn't get easy game in and game out.
You know, you're right. And it's interesting to see how things change and how much turnover there is in high school football, because when I was in high school, which was yesterday, the teams that were good right now sometimes aren't. Like, I've never in my lifetime have I seen Gateway 0-3.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in high school, Gateway was a perennial power every year, and they had big-time recruits every year, and they were somebody you didn't want to see. So, but I think they're much better than an 0-3 football team. As we talked about, their star quarterback didn't play the last 2 weeks, and clearly that's made a big difference tonight.
Rolling out Lemke, going to take off and run with it on third down, and he's only going to get 3 yards. That'll be 4th down for the Panthers. And an offense really not really wanting to give the ball back to Gateway in the way that their offense has started to click here in the second half. And there is an injured Panther down on that far sideline.
Yeah, 4th and long here for the Panthers, Matt. Looks like they're going to give the ball back to Gateway again, and Brad Birch and his offense has momentum. And now they have a lead to play with, so we'll see how they change their approach, because really this is the first time they've been on offense with a lead.
No doubt. Let's take a look at Franklin Regional's upcoming schedule, what they will have in the conference. Panthers will have Shaler at home next week. Shaler coming into tonight undefeated. The Titans, there's another team, JP, that had struggled for a long time, and they're starting to feel like they got something going over there in Shaler. And then the Mustangs on the road for the Panthers before Norwin comes to Franklin Regional. And already seeing the month of October on the schedule, that's a scary
That is scary.
thing.
But
And
you know what else is scary is that both teams have burned 2 timeouts already this half.
Yes.
So that'll be something to keep an eye on heading into the 4th quarter with a 1-score game.
I think they're going to take this to the half, or the, beg your pardon, the quarter. But the officials just told the Gators to not go to the other side. And let's see what we do here. Yes, that is going to take us to the quarter. All right, we're not there yet. We got a 4th chapter of this one. Gateway leads it 24-17. It's the Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine. And we are back to KDKA Plus after this.
Panera's You Pick 2 means when part of you wants crispy, crunchy, fresh, and part of you wants melty, smoky, peppery. Both U's win big. You pick 2 and get more. Cater your next event with Panera.
We raised $5,000!
When you purchase life insurance and annuity products from GBU Life, you also have more opportunities to give back to your community. GBU matches donations you make up to $1,000 per member.
I have GBU Life Insurance. Oh, wow. I have a GBU youth policy. Whoa.
We've got GBU annuities. Hey!
Our $5,000 just turned into $10,000.
That's a lot of big checks.
Find out more at gbu.org.
When you step through that door or shake their hands, will you be prepared? When you stand up for a client or walk into that meeting, will you be ready to prove to them that you deserve to be there?
When you come to Washington and Jefferson, you will be.
Washington and Jefferson College. Are you ready?
Most individuals, when they have an injury, they want to get back immediately, whether that is getting back to work or getting back to sport or getting to their next yoga workout. We really want to give them pain-free function and mobility as best we can for the extent of their lives, so they can be active, so they can enjoy being with their loved ones.
This Saturday, tune in to KDKA Plus for D3 college football as the Teal Tomcats battle the Washington and Jefferson Presidents. Saturday at 1 p.m., only on KDKA Plus.
Let's play a fourth in Monroeville tonight. Murraysville versus Monroeville. Right now, Monroeville got the edge, 24-17. Back with Johnny Patrician. I am Matt Fargo. Happy to have you along in our KDKA Plus broadcast tonight. Punt unit on for the Panthers to start quarter number 4. Fair catch is called for, and Kenny Lewis made that a little bit more interesting than John Hall would have liked, but the Gators have the football and they have the lead, and now they have an opportunity to go up 2 scores, which has not happened for either side to this point.
You know, a great punt there for Frankin Regional. Now they put their defense in really the best situation possible that you could ask for. So now Brad Birch and company are faced with a long field to go to make this a 2-score game.
Bradley Birch, the 6'1", 187-pound senior, back to work from the quarterback position. 4 wide receivers set for the Gators. Reynolds motions out of the backfield. Design run play for Birch. And Birch weaves his way. Flag is down. Birch with a burst of speed and finally flattened from behind. As coming up to make this stop was Brent Hinkey. But there is a flag down, and it is against the Gators. And once again, JP, Gateway will start another drive from behind the sticks.
It seems like every drive, the first play of the drive, they get a penalty. And usually it's on a big play. Unfortunate for Gateway, but you're going to be starting behind the sticks again, like you said.
But it's one more warning shot fired to the Franklin Regional defense on they cannot allow Birch to burn them on this draw play. Yeah. It's happened too many times. It happened again.
And exactly what Gateway does is they align their receivers outside of the numbers that is so much more wide than usual. And it gives Birch more space to run with.
First and 20, Birch back to pass. Pressure comes. He throws over the middle of the field. It's knocked away, and a flag comes flying out. I thought well-timed by the defensive back, Darwin Jones, cutting it off there. And it will be pass interference, however, on the Panthers. So the Panthers return the favor. We'll get another look at this. We've been not with the officials on a lot of these, but I don't know about that one, JP.
I don't know either.
Take another look. I don't know if we could go back a little bit more.
Right there, go.
First down, 6.
Went off his helmet.
Got there a little early.
Back to pass, Birch. Zigging it down the field. It is in and out of the hands. Gateway had it. Tyson Harper. Incomplete. I thought for a moment Franklin Regional was going to pick that pass off, JP, but instead it found Harper. Just couldn't reel it in.
Darwin Jones made just enough of a distraction and put his hand up at the last second, and I think it made it just a little bit harder to catch. Oh, man.
Second down, 5 from the 43 for the Gators. Birch looks, slant route, popped into the air and incomplete. Franklin Regional getting his paws on the football. It was Owen Sinclair, the senior.
Owen Sinclair just stopped a big play because Jenkins was going to take that and run with it.
Big 57. It's a good number in football, 57. I like that play from the linebacker as it's 3rd down and 5. Here comes the blitz from Franklin Regional. Birch is going to take off and run with it. Try to stretch it to the corner, and he cannot. Panthers hold. Heath Silva comes over along with Kyle Dupill, and they finally stop Birch from getting a first down on 3rd down.
Owen Sinclair's been all over the field these past 2 plays. He had the pass break up on 2nd down, and he's running from sideline to hunt down Birch on 3rd down there.
Gators going for it on 4th down and 4. 4 wide. Reynolds motions out of the backfield. Now he motions back as Gateway maybe trying to get Franklin Regional to jump, which they've done a couple times tonight. Play clock is down to 2 seconds. Now to 0. And now what? Did they get the timeout, or are they going to take the penalty? That would be their last timeout of the ball game, by the way.
Well, I hope they didn't use their last timeout.
I believe they took the penalty. Well, it just announced that they took the timeout. Well, they're marching it back as if they took the penalty. And so I'm going to go with the sticks on this one. As it's going to be 4th down and 9. Punt unit is out, and the Gateway still has their timeout. So they did not use that last one.
That's very important. They're going to need it.
That wouldn't have been very smart. Marsh to punt. Franklin Regional had 2 block punts last week. Not this time, but here's another opportunity for Kearns, and another nice return. I beg your pardon, Hudak on the return for Franklin Regional.
Hudak's been all over the field tonight. Special teams, defense, offense. He's an all-around player.
And the Panthers, really a best-case scenario. You stop the Gateway offense, you get the ball at midfield. I feel like it would look like a long task right now. We haven't seen Franklin Regional go from the 20 to the end zone tonight. So you get another short field. You need a couple big plays here to try to tie things up at 24. You got plenty of time to do it.
Yeah, this is exactly what Franklin Regional wants. Starting their drive in opposing territory, and they can get back to their bread and butter.
It's a Wildcat formation as Dupill took the snap and goes around the corner. He's going to get a yard. Not much more. Be 2nd down for the Panthers.
Yeah, so far the theme of the game is explosive plays. Really, the only time either team has scored is when they get a huge chunk of an explosive play on offense or special teams.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily need to be the play that goes for the score, but that chunk play sets up the score.
Exactly. No team has really marched the whole way down the field from the 20 to the end zone, like you said.
Gateway tried to do it once, and then Franklin Regional shut the door on them.
Right.
Got a turnover on downs. Handed off this time does Dupill. Giving it off to Gentili.
I wonder if Lemke's okay, or are they intentionally going with the Wildcat approach here?
It's a great question.
Because it's 3rd and long. So you wouldn't want to stay Wildcat in 3rd and long in a passing situation.
Right.
So
and you got 5'6" Kyle Dupill in a quarterback.
Yeah, so the fact that Lemke's not coming back in is telling.
3rd down 9. Rolling is Dupill. He's going to take off and run with it, and Dupill has a first down. Spins away. Dupill down the sideline, and he's inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Franklin Regional. 47 yards. How did he do it?
Wow. There was nobody stopping him. He was going to will his way into the end zone. What did we say to get out of the Wildcat formation in 3rd and long? Unbelievable. Everybody in the stadium knew Dupill was getting the ball, and there was nothing Gateway could do about it.
Dupill tight ropes the far boundary into the end zone, and an extra point away from tying this ball game. carrying a Gateway defender with them into the end zone. What an effort. And Carlos Zofko circled that one because that needs to be in the top 10 next week. Wow.
No doubt about it. That'll be the top play on his highlight film for the season. Unbelievable play by Kyle Dupill. Very impressive.
Here's the all-important extra point by Joey Bain. And it is good. We're tied at 24. 9:25 to go here in our showcase, and we got a thriller in the swamp. Stick with us. The Steel City Showcase back to KDKA Plus after this break.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, Shorty's Tap and Taco, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 5 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
At 2 Men and a Truck, we'll treat you and your belongings like we treat our own grandmas.
Here we go!
Hello there. Welcome.
Whether we're moving you across town or even across the country.
Tune in this Friday to the Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine as the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars take on the Bell Vernon Leopards in a battle of the Mon Valley. Friday night at 7 on KDKA+. Are you ready?
Welcome back, and this is the play that ties our game of the fourth. Kyle Dupill just would not be denied, JP.
He wasn't going to take no for an answer. He literally put the team on his back and broke multiple tackles, showcased his great skill set there, and actually went down accidentally. The only person that could take him down there was his own teammate celebrating in the end zone.
Joey Bain will kick it and put a great boot into this one and make sure Gateway cannot return. They'll get it on the touchback, tied at 24, 9:25 to play in our ball game. And the two teams just 14 minutes apart from each other, playing their version of a backyard brawl tonight. And we got the real one tomorrow, JP. Are you excited for Pitt, West Virginia tomorrow?
I'm so excited. Night game. What more can you ask for? Backyard brawl. Two teams that desperately need a win. Last year's game was a classic.
Yep.
And this one's going to be a great one, too.
Well, we're getting a great prelude in this version of the backyard brawl between Gateway and Franklin Regional. Battle of round 51. They hand it off right side, and it's Reynolds. Reynolds with a burst of speed to the 35-yard line. And the big plays aplenty now between these two.
And that's the chunk explosive play that we keep talking about, Matt.
45 yards on the run there. Coming into your living room on the replay.
And with the hurry-up offense, Gateway is going to snap it quickly. They want to keep this momentum on this drive.
Birch designed run play. Couple hats to the football there. Andrew Davola on the initial hit. Owen Sinclair cleans things up. Second down, 6. Pick up a 4 on the Birch run. From the 31-yard line. Back to pass. Birch going for it all. Got his man. Caught for the touchdown! Stephen Jenkins! Yes, sir! Gators back in front, and it takes 2 plays.
Whoever is in charge of the lights is having fun tonight. And that was a great reason to flash them there. Perfect throw by Birch, right into the hands of Jenkins. Man,
A young man returning from injury tonight, having himself a night.
I don't know. Darwin Jones that just went over his outstretched arms.
Extra point? No good. From Blake Marsh. We'll take a look at it on the replay. Wide right.
And that's going to come back to be a factor in this game. We talked about it before, the missed extra point, and they went for 2 to erase the deficit. But now we're back where we started. 6-point game.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, let's take a look at the second half highlights because we've had ourselves a second half. This game was 10-7 at the break. And then Gateway came out swinging with the big-time play. Here's Stephen Jenkins going the distance. Gives the Gators their first lead of the ball game. Makes it 13-10 after the missed extra point. But here come the Panthers right back. A big kick return. Kearns sets it up. Or Hudak sets it up. And they were able to get the touchdown right back as we're back to live action with the touchback there. But the Panthers responded right away. And we've gone back and forth really as these two teams have just exchanged blows in this second half. And right now, Gateway has landed the latest one, and Franklin Regional going to try to do something we haven't seen them do really tonight, which since the first drive, which was go the length of the field and punch it in. They did that on the first drive.
You're right. This second half, we've seen everything. Defensive touchdowns, long kick returns, 2-point conversions, long bombs. What more could you ask for on a Friday night? But Franklin Regional needs to put together a long drive here. And we'll see if they can do it with 8.5 minutes left in this ball game.
They're going reverse. Going to Brinker. Throwing down the far sideline. Little wide receiver reverse to Kearns down the far sideline. And Hudak down the far sideline. I beg your pardon. He makes the catch.
I love it.
I think everybody in the stadium was fooled by some bag of tricks thrown out there by Lance Getzey.
I love it. Great way to start the drive. Now they're at midfield. Now they can do whatever they want. They're out of their own territory. Pulled out a bag of tricks to start the drive. Perfect.
First down and 10 for the Panthers. They're back to work, and there's a flag immediately thrown as breaking into the open field as Dupill finally pulled down from behind, short of the 25-yard line. We will check the flag as Kyle Dupill. It was a 25-yard run by Dupill, but it's coming back.
Dupill's having a great night. But unfortunately, that one's not going to count. Great vision there, cut back lane, and turns on the burners.
5'6" on the roster for 26.
He's got a lot of heart, though.
Oh, my goodness. Fun to watch.
I still can't go over his touchdown run last drive. That was unbelievable.
It's one of the best plays I've seen of the year, no doubt.
First down, 15.
So 8.5 minutes left. Franklin Regional can do whatever they want with their run game as of recent.
They go into a rugby scrum there to the 45-yard line. Only picks up 2 on 1st and 15.
Stop by 71. Payne.
And that penalty was important because, as we talked about, there's a common theme throughout this game. They're behind the sticks now, and they're not a throwing team. They've had success with the Wildcat, but this is their most important drive of the game.
Give a shout out to Raman Payne, the senior, 6'4", 350 pounds on the tackle there. And a great line for a defensive lineman. Lemke back into the game, rolling here to the near side, throws in traffic, got his receiver, It's Austin Kearns, and Kearns leans forward about back to the original line of scrimmage.
Little jump pass there.
Third down.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A little jump action. Austin Kearns getting it done on the offensive side of the ball, too. He's been all over the field defensively.
Third down, 10. Lemke throwing it. Screen passes set up, and they got the first down and almost broke it. Did Aiden Hudak, but it's a Franklin Regional first down. Hudak a little gimpy as he gets up.
And I believe, Matt, that was a similar or maybe the same play that they scored on the first drive of the game. The tunnel screen coming back across the middle of the field.
Yeah, because all the attention right there was on Dupill.
Yep.
Dumping it off to Hudak, and Hudak is lining up on the top of your screen. A little bit gimpy, though. First down and 10 for the Panthers. Dupill does not get his Lemke keeps, and Lemke coughs up the football, and Gateway has it. The defense, Amari Gans, scoops up the loose football, and the Gators defense gets a huge turnover to take back the football with 6:22 to play.
Very unfortunate ball security for Franklin Regional. They'd be in complete control of this game if it wasn't for the two fumbles. Their two best players, arguably on offense, Lemke and Dupill, have both coughed up the ball in this second half. The last one, Gateway returned for a touchdown, but this one very timely as Gateway now has the ball with the lead with a little bit over 6 minutes to play in the game.
Yeah, Gateway and Franklin Regional both only have a timeout apiece in their pocket, so it's Reynolds getting the carry on first down, and he'll pick his way to the 33-yard line, and now the clock becomes Gateway's best friend here, trying to get their first victory of the season and, more importantly, go 1-0 in the conference to start off.
Franklin Regional wants to get a stop here as quickly as possible. One, because they're fighting against the clock now, but two, they don't want to go the distance of the long field with a running offense.
Birch wants to end it all in one play, and it's incomplete. There's a flag down. It's pass interference. Boy, was that flag late?
Well, the ref had a hard time getting it out of his belt, but I think he made the right call there.
Take another look at this. Yep. Back to the ball. Got a handful of jersey.
Pass interference against the Panthers.
It's a free first down for Gateway and a free 15.
What I like about Brad Birch is he gives his receivers a chance to make a play. It's obvious that he has trust and confidence in them. When he sees a one-on-one matchup down the field, he's going to throw it up. And he throws a beautiful ball.
Oh, Silva in coverage there that got caught with the PI. First down at 10 for the Gators. Motion Reynolds out. Design run play to Birch. Birch lowers his shoulder. Brad Birch. Who say quarterbacks can't lay a lick? Linebacker took the brunt of that one.
I'll tell you what, it wasn't pretty, but Darwin James got him down, though. Excuse me, Darwin Jones. He made the tackle. And in the open field against a ball carrier with a full head of steam is not easy to do.
Typically you siding with the linebacker. I'm shocked.
I mean, the crowd gave the oohs and ahs, but
he did his job.
Darwin Jones did his job.
Yep. Screen pass set up. Franklin Regional's all over it. As Birch completes his pass to Harper, Dyson Harper, the junior.
Second down, 8.
And again, that quarterback draw has been so effective for Gateway all night long. Birch showing that he can do it with his feet and his arm.
Second down, 8 for the Gators and Birch. That one behind the intended receiver, but Jenkins goes and gets it. There is a flag down. I didn't see the signal.
Neither did I.
It's on the Gators. Could it be an eligible man downfield? It really wasn't that long for them to have up. And, well, that's interesting. Was it offsetting penalties? Walked one off to walk another. Third down and 8 from the 41-yard line. Birch just letting it fly. Underneath it, caught for his third time. Number 3, Stephen Jenkins. Touchdown, Gators. Brad Birch and Jenkins putting on a light show of their own.
That connection's been all over the field tonight. Love to see it. It's multiple deep balls they've connected on. Thank gosh Jenkins and Birch are healthy tonight, and their presence has been felt.
Even the coaches are feeling it right now.
Everybody's excited. Place is rocking. The lights are going on and off.
Marsh, who's missed 2 extra points tonight, he finds between the poles this time. 36-24, now 37-24. Gateway's largest lead of the night. More points than they've scored all season. Gators rolling. We'll be back to the showcase on KDKA+.
This awesome gift is from my grandma. I use free pay policy from GBU Life. What does it do? It accumulates cash value, helps protect my future insurability, and it may even earn dividends. What's so great about that? My policy will grow with me. Plus, I get access to the GBU Life Youth Leaders Program, scholarships, and more. Oh. You might be interested in a GBU Life annuity. You're probably thinking about retiring soon, right, Mrs. Jones?
Are you an aspiring entrepreneur, a dreamer with a passion for success? With Koza Law Group, your journey starts now. Whether you're dreaming of a small startup or envisioning a global empire, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Starting a business shouldn't be scary. It's about embracing the spirit of innovation, taking calculated risks, and believing in your potential to make a difference. We are more than just legal advisors. We are redefining legal services. Contact us today to experience the Koza Law difference.
This Saturday, tune in to KDKA Plus for D3 college football as the Teal Tomcats battle the Washington and Jefferson Presidents. Saturday at 1 p.m. only on KDKA Plus.
You can now get more local news on KDKA Plus. More breaking news.
Residents are being asked to stay outside of their house.
More community stories. More weather.
A couple of funnel clouds were spotted.
Weekdays at 12:30 on KDKA Plus.
And we welcome you back here to Gateway, where it is the Gators starting to find their swagger tonight in the Swamp. 37-24. They have the lead over Franklin Regional. And that guy, fresh off of coming back from injury and has 3 touchdowns tonight. Boy, I don't think it's going to be too hard. I guess you got to pick between Birch and Jenkins, but they've both been so fun to watch tonight.
Explosive tonight. All over the field. I mean, his yards per catch average got to be like 40. Every time he catches the ball, it's a big play.
That last touchdown, JP, I thought Birch had overthrown Jenkins, and he runs right underneath it. Couldn't have been a perfectly placed ball. And this is going to give at least Franklin Regional some good field position as the ball goes out of bounds.
Hey, Jake Owenson.
So it's going to be the Panther offense. 5 receptions for 191 yards. 4:37 to play here in the fourth quarter. This is not a position Franklin Regional's offense wants to be. They're not built for that quick strikeability, but they've proven us wrong before, JP. As that one was nearly intercepted. Lemke was in dangerous territory there.
Yeah, you're right. This is not what they're used to doing. They're used to be playing with a lead, running the clock out. Now they got to come from behind and go to their passing game, which they're not too confident about. If I'm a Gateway defensive back right now, I'm looking for an interception to close this game out.
37-24, Gateway has the lead. Largest lead of the night for either side. Rolling out, Lemke will just dump it off. It's tipped off a few hands, and was that intercepted and fair? It is intercepted. Gateway comes away with the pick. No, they're going to say he was out. Oh, my. The official pointed in Gateway's direction and then swiped the atmosphere as if he was out of bounds. So, kind of a lot of waiting around there for that.
Kenny Lewis has an interception and an 80-yard touchdown
clean,
tonight
JP.
that are all being called back.
That looked clean.
I said if you're a Gateway defensive back, you got to be looking for an interception right now to close this game out. Kenny Lewis must have heard me, I think. But he's been all over the field on both ends. I think he's in.
I do, too.
It was tipped, though. Maybe the guy that tipped it was out of bounds.
That's fair.
You know, playing devil's advocate for the referees.
No, yeah.
They've had a rough night. They've called a lot of penalties. We've gotten on them about a few calls. Trying to make them happy,
It's a hard job.
too.
We've talked about this throughout the season. It's a hard gig to put on the zebra stripes. Lemke delivers wow, what a wallop. Trying to get to Reynolds, and Reynolds paid for it.
You know, Franklin Regional's only success tonight through the air have been the trick play, the reverse pass, and tunnel screens. And Gateway knows that. You know, they haven't had too much conventional 3-step, 5-step drops throwing downfield. They haven't had much success doing that.
And, you know, for Gateway's side of things, and Don Hall going back to the film room next week, that's something clearly they need to work on, and staying at home and not allowing and over-pursuing to allow those big plays to happen.
Yeah, well, we always said,
a muffed punt. Bobbled around, and now Franklin Regional says they have it as they fight for it. There's a flag that comes flying out of nowhere. Franklin Regional came out of the pile with the football. It was McAllister Bresnahan who came out of that in a special teams play.
That's got to be a candidate for the Whippy all-name team. That's a good one right there. Say that again for me.
McAllister Bresnahan. Number 10. This one gets bobbled around and then...
Well, that's one way to gain 40 yards. Let's just punt it here and count on them muffing it.
I mean, the Panthers, you got to give it to them. There's 4 minutes left. You have one timeout. You know, the craziest comeback I've ever seen in high school football in Western Pennsylvania was these very same Gateway Gators. I don't know if you want to talk about it because it still ended well for you.
The hook and ladder play.
Yeah.
I know exactly. Cam Sadler.
You'll never forget, right?
I was a young kid.
Yeah,
and I won't forget that.
We don't want to confuse people that you were on that team.
No, I wasn't.
Carry forward there to the 43-yard line, so clock winds under 4 minutes for the Panthers.
But you're right. Got to give it to Franklin Regional for not rolling over and quitting when they could have.
And DuPill.
Clearly a tough team.
2 more yards.
But you're right. This is the problem. They're fighting against the clock right now, and they're still running the ball, and that's their best bet to gain yards, unfortunately. They're just non-existent in the passing game, but DuPill's been so successful on the ground that's hard to argue with.
You're almost hoping that he breaks one, right?
Yeah.
Is that the thinking behind it? Third down, 3 here. Lemke loses the ball. He was leveled. Gators have it. Forced fumble and a sack for 51 in your program. Robertson Luis Juni.
He's fired up, as he should be. Love to get a forced fumble to close this game out. Coming off the edge, perfect timing. And that's definitely a fumble. 51's fired up, baby. Now with 3 minutes left, we'll see if Gateway, runs it out, gets a few first downs, or they with their air attack. Yeah. Burks wants to sling it.
Yeah, you can tell he's missed play, and Reynolds going to get the carry, and Reynolds says, I have a home run in me too. Touchdown, Gateway, Jaquan Reynolds.
The Gators are on
54
fire.
yards. And they've broken this one open late.
Look at that. Breakaway speed, has the perfect vision to hit the gap, hit the hole. And he says we can run the ball too. Matt, we've been talking all night about Burks throwing downfield to his weapons. But Reynolds, he was our player to watch tonight.
Right. And you said he hadn't broken one yet this year, and he does here in the fourth.
He was so close the first 3 games. And
Agent Zero.
That's the home run that we've been looking for. Gateway's impressive. I think they're the best 0-3 team we've ever seen. I said that they put up 21 points in the first 3 games. They put up 44 tonight.
Unbelievable performance. Gateway, especially the second half, just found it, started clicking on offense. And the show that is Jenkins and Birch, it's been fun. Here is the Koza Law Group lineman of the game, and we're going on the Franklin Regional side, JP, with an incredible performance by Owen Sinclair tonight.
I know it's the lineman of the game, but it's not often you see your starting center also playing middle linebacker. He was making tackles, chasing guys down on defense, and also making blocks and making holes for that run-heavy Franklin Regional offense. So he was getting it done in the trenches on offense and on defense, and we love to see that from a selfless guy. Not going to get his name much in the stat book, but he's going to get our Koza Lineman of the Game award tonight.
Yeah, thanks to Koza Law Group for bringing you a lineman of the game. 44-24, just like that. I mean, if I would have rewound this tape, JP, 6 minutes of game time and said Gateway's going to have a 20-point lead in this game, you would have never believed me.
Never. I think their last 3 drives, they all scored explosive plays. 50-yard pass, another however long that run was, 50-plus yards. Clearly they have the home run capability, and we're seeing that in the second half tonight.
And how much for confidence? You start 0-3. You have some tough losses. Lost to North Hills last week, but now you're 1-0 in the conference. This has to be building exactly what Don Hell and their coaching staff wants to be building moving into the rest of this season.
Now they have life again. We said tonight the key to the game for Gateway was their offense has to come alive, and they've done exactly that. The defense has been great in the second half, so clearly they can get it done, and I think they're the team to beat in this section, in this conference, going forward.
I don't think there's a doubt. But you know what? I also think on the Franklin Regional side, is DuPill's going to get this carry. I think on the Franklin Regional side, they're not that far off. If their defense, obviously they've let things balloon here late, but if their defense continue to anchor down, and you said it, 2 costly fumbles. This game's totally different. How does this game play out if you don't have a fumble as you're going down to try to tie the game again?
Totally different. You're right. And there were fumbles from their best players.
Yeah.
And the first fumble was really the killer by Dupill, which Gateway returned for a touchdown. Because that gave Gateway the lead, and then after that, they just took off with it. And Franklin Regional couldn't respond. They're not an offense built to come back. They're an offense to have the lead and then run with it in the second half, run the clock down. They're not an offense built to throw the ball down the field and come back.
Meanwhile, Gateway's offense, my goodness, I don't know if they're ever going to be out of a game because of their quick strikeability.
Right, and that was a bold prediction, saying that I think they're the team to beat in this conference now, being 0-3.
Yeah.
But having their key players back tonight, it totally changes the face of this program going forward.
Carry goes to Gentili, and he'll scamper out of bounds. It'll be fourth down for Franklin Regional. And you said 0-3, but again, we've been talking about it all game. It's 1-0 in the conference, and that's what Don Hall kept saying is those 3 games don't mean anything to us. I know they're attached to our overall record, but we're worried about winning conference games and being the number 1 team in the conference, winning a conference championship, and all of those things are possible, and it starts tonight as they go for it on fourth down to the Panthers, and they get smothered down. Lemke didn't have anywhere to go.
But you're right, Matt. It's not like college football where the losses of non-conference play are going to kill you and take away your chance of being in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, certainly I think the committee will maybe impact those 3 losses versus other conferences. But if you go win in your conference, you're probably still going to get a relatively good seed, probably top 6, you would imagine, in the class. So, yeah, if you handle your business in your conference, and it also kind of depends on what those other 3 teams do the rest of the year. Do those 3 teams go on to have successful years, or do they not?
Right. But to your point, I think if you're Franklin Regional, you have some things after tonight that you're proud about, but also so much room to improve. Offensively, defensively. I mean, they were great in the first half. They dominated the first half.
Right.
I think the score is more lopsided than how the game really was.
For sure.
Clearly, Gateway, ran away with it here late in the fourth quarter, but I think all the other stats of the game will show you that it was a lot more closer than what the scoreboard actually shows.
Those losses that we were talking about, 6A Mount Lebanon, they lost by 21. They lost 27-0 to Woodland Hills. That was out without Birch and without Jenkins. And then they lost last week 19-7 to North Hills. So, those can all understand, especially with injuries, which the committee often takes into consideration as well as Birch. Birch staying healthy is clearly a key. Jenkins staying healthy, clearly a key on what these Gators are going to do as a flag marches them back, just trying to kill the rest of this minute 21.
Yeah, but overall impressive performance by Gateway. Clearly they have the horses to put up points the rest of the season, and they're going to kneel it out respectively here. Although I'm sure that Birch is upset taking the rushing loss here to his stats tonight because he had a handful of yards going forward on those quarterback draws.
Third down.
Under a minute to play here. Gateway to 1-3. Franklin Regional will move to 2-2 on the season. Both teams move deeper into conference play next week. And maybe how about this one for a shocker around the Whitfield? Biggest upset of the night. You ready?
I'm ready.
Moon defeats Penn Hills tonight.
Penn Hills coming off that big win against Pine Richland last week.
14-13, Moon defeats Penn Hills tonight. number 1 team in 5A goes down to a winless Moon team.
Wow.
And here, 44-24 is your final. Gateway, first win of the season. Congrats to Dono and the Gators. Franklin Regional down their first loss in conference play. They moved to 2-2 overall. But really fun second half, JP.
Yeah, this was the play that started it all for Gateway and really gave Birch Jenkins that confidence that they can open this thing up and run away with it in the second half.
Yeah, Brad Birch was throwing the ball all over the lot tonight. Franklin Regional, though, they had their moments in the second half, and they weren't going to go away. They had those big plays throughout this second half to stick around in it. And DuPill, man, the effort that we had from 24 in white tonight, maybe none more impressive than the touchdown he broke late. That was obviously a costly fumble that Gateway ended up scooping and scoring going into the end zone. Big turning point of the game, no question.
That was definitely the turning point of the game, but you're right. Franklin Regional showed toughness. They showed physicality. They showed resiliency. Like I said, the final score doesn't reflect their performance tonight. It was much closer, tightly fought game than what the scoreboard shows.
And this was the run by DuPill that still needs to be on the highlight reel next week. I just want to keep watching this play over and over because it was fun to watch 24 get into the end zone. But a great one again here in the showcase in week 3. JP, always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, Matt. I was a blast. And I'll see you again next week.
Let's do it again next week. For Johnny Patrician and our entire JRM production crew, I'm Matt Fargo saying this has been a presentation of high school football in the Steel City High School Football Showcase presented by UPMC Sports Medicine. See you at the beach next week. Thanks for watching KDKA+.